you don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Dead up perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the 5th part of What If Naruto Enters DANI Phantom Verse. Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of pyrohelixdrago, KFB Anime 87 and Spike Tanked Master 300. On FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the authors too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Let's just move on. Naruto said as it was that simple. Few days later. Come out, I can feel you and hear your parrot squawking, Naruto said. Suddenly a small boy dressed like a pirate with a skeleton parrot on his shoulder appeared. So what is this you here to rob me? Spoiler alert, oceans, a few miles that way, Naruto said, pointing in the direction of the ocean. Don't you people these days not know how to have fun? I'm Youngblood, the young pirate ghost said, introducing himself. Gotta say you're probably the youngest ghost I've ever met. Naruto said, as that was really sad if one took into account that meant he died so young. Who do you think cares and keeps track of him? The parrot said to him. I'm gonna hazard a guess and say you two are responsible for adults going missing in town. Naruto said, as for the last couple of days adults have been going missing. Arg, you're right matey, I have to find a new source for me ship to move. Youngblood said. It's my ship, not me ship, the parrot said to him, correcting the young boy's English as pirate talk was terrible. It is okay, well later, Youngblood said as he went intangible and left. Hey, get back here, kid. Naruto said as it was too late. Shit, better go find out how the news is gonna spin this, he thought, as the news was giving all Ghost including Team Haffa a bad rep when things like this go down. Things not looking so good, son? Shinigami asked, appearing before him. Dad, what are you doing here? Naruto asked curiously. A warning, Vladimir is messing with things that haven't been touched for centuries. You already have something that he wanted, but there is still danger coming, Shinigami said, as he knew Naruto had the Ring of Rage locked up along with the scepter from Freak Show. Well, I should stop him, Naruto said, as Vlad and ancient things didn't sound fun. You have your hands full, son, but you need to know that things will change soon. I merely came to warn you, as this danger will be nothing you have ever seen before, Shinigami said, as this was a large threat. What happened to not interfering with things? Naruto asked curiously. Sometimes I say F the rules, and this concerns you, so I don't care, Shinigami said, as he wasn't breaking any rules, telling Naruto, as this didn't directly interfere with things. Well, right now I'm dealing with a pirate kid who's taking adults to use for his ship, Naruto said, telling him what's going on. Oh yes, Youngblood, perhaps the youngest among ghosts, rest his soul, Shinigami said, as he knew about this young ghost. Do you know how he died? Naruto asked him, as he knew that was a touchy subject. Yes, poor child died in a hospital. He had such an imagination, trying to be anything he could be. That's why he's dressed as a pirate, Shinigami said, as it was sad seeing the young boy die so young. Wonder what's his deal with adults? Naruto asked. No one in particular. There are some who are cruel, my son. It is a huge reason why I send them to hell, Shinigami said, as trying to crush a child's spirit or destroy his dreams was a terrible act. True, anything else before you go? Naruto asked him. The reason your Haffa enemy Vlad was so beat up was because the behemoth was guarding a very dangerous artifact that can do very bad things in the wrong hands, Shinigami said, as that artifact was truly dangerous. Can you tell me what it was? Naruto asked. No, I can't. Sorry, son, Shinigami said, as he desperately wanted to. All right, well, it was good seeing you, Naruto said, as he hugged his dad. Children are not meant to die, young Shinigami thought, as he remembered Naruto's slight brush with death. 1 hour later. Hey, Naruto said, glad Harriet let him right in. Hey, how's my best informant? Harriet said, as Naruto let her do interviews and informed him of certain exciting activities. A little on the emotional side today with the current ghost. Naruto said as he informed Harriet on the missing disappearing people. Jesus, a kid ghost, Harriet said, as that was a sad to hear. Yeah, one who's pretending to be a pirate and wants to take the adults to use them for his ship. Naruto said as he found it odd a ghost ship needed power. He really has that pirate thing down. Harriet said as Naruto handed her a picture. A 10-year-old ghost playing make-believe that he's a pirate, Naruto said, as he believed Youngblood was just playing as so far nobody has gotten hurt or any buildings got damaged. Still kidnapping, Harriet said, as one couldn't overlook that as it was a serious act. To be honest, I don't think he's looking to do harm, I think he thinks he's just having fun. Naruto said as unlike other ghosts, he didn't sense any true hostility from Youngblood. Dangerous fun, Harriet said. And what if he doesn't really know that yet? He's a 10-year-old. Naruto said as little kids had a different view of the world at that age. You say he looks like a 10-year-old? Harriet asked as she got on a computer. What are you doing? Naruto asked her curiously. Taking a look at old news reports 10 years ago. Harriet said as Naruto let it slip that some ghosts have died here in Amity when they were alive. Oh shit, she said in realization. I know him, she said to Naruto in surprise. How? Naruto asked curiously, wondering how Harriet knew the boy. When I was a junior reporter, I did a piece on this sick little boy, and Youngblood is that boy, Harriet said, showing him an old photo and the computer and the photo he gave her. Joey Montez, as in Mayor Montez, Naruto said, reading the article as it stated Mayor Montez does budget cuts on the hospital, where his young son was currently being treated. But due to insufficient funds, the boy Joey Montez died from his disease, and it is unconfirmed where the budget cuts from the hospital went to, as the mayor has refused to make a comment. How the F is this guy still the mayor, he asked her. No clue, I was only in Amity for a little while, Harriet said, as she had an internship here during college. Something's not right. Something like that any other person would get their ass kicked out of office. So why didn't he? Naruto asked her curiously. This sounds like the start to a major scoop, Harriet said as her interest was fully piqued. Here, luckily me and Montez go to the same bank and City Hall has all the public records, Naruto said as he handed her the bank's business card. Time to solve a mystery 10 years in the making, Harriet said, wondering where this would lead. Few hours later. Still no sign of the trail, Naruto asked her as he had zero luck finding Youngblood. Money was taken, but I never found where it was distributed and Montez didn't add it to his bank or has been slowly installing it, Harriet said as she checked with the bank. What if he sent the money to other people? Naruto asked her curiously. Like what, a bribe? Harriet said as she looked through the bank records. He took out money but soon put it back into his account. He may have kept the money and used his own as a cover, she said, seeing a bunch of wire transfers she paid no mind to, but he put the exact amount he lost back in. What if he used his own money for a bribe and used the budget cuts to get money back? Naruto said. You think he would take money away from a hospital trying to save his own kid? Harriet asked him. I don't know, but I know there are a lot of greedy people out there in the world, Naruto said as he didn't want to believe it. This is getting darker than I first thought, Harriet said, speaking her thoughts. 1 hour later. I think I found it, Naruto said. Really? Harriet asked as going through files sucked. Yeah, according to this, he made some big transfers to other people's accounts, the same of which happened to be part of the city council, and guess where the funds from the budget cuts went? Into his own account. Naruto said, sometimes I hate being right, he said. We got trouble, Harriet said, pulling up a video on her phone showing a pirate ship over City Hall. Did he figure out his dad is still here? Naruto asked as he doubted it. And where are you going? Harriet asked. To make sure a 10-year-old doesn't make a mistake he might regret, Naruto said as he ran out. Harriet followed behind him. City Hall. Yahar, all ye bilge rats will be coming with me, Youngblood said as his crew was taking some of the adults in the building. It's all you bilge rats, ye is used for nights, his parrot assistant said. I think it's both actually, Naruto said to them. Arg, ahoy matey, have ye come to play pirate with me? Youngblood asked him. Get your hands off of me, don't you ghosts know who I am? Montez said to them. Yeah, you corrupt assholes. Youngblood's eyes seemed to dilate as he heard the mayor's voice. W, who are you? Mayor Montez's eyes widened. Joey, is that you? He asked Youngblood. Joey? W, who's Joey? Youngblood asked before he shouted as he held his head. Captain, the other ghost pirates said, seeing their pirate captain in pain. Oh shit, were his memories repressed? Naruto thought to himself. Youngblood began seething as his eyes glowed and looked at the mayor. Dad, he said, looking at his father when he was alive. Joey? You where's Mom? Montez was saying until Youngblood interrupted him. Joey, just my name is not Joey, Montez was saying till Youngblood interrupted, aiming his sword at Montez. I'm not going to ask again. Dad, where is my mom? Youngblood asked him full of rage. She's gone, Joey. She's dead, Montez said in fear. Youngblood dropped his sword and backed up. She died shortly after you did due to a heart attack, Montez said. Okay, gotta end this, Naruto thought, overshadowing Montez, then knocked him out, making him forget the past few moments as he then went to Youngblood, who had a destroyed look on his face. Captain? His parrot assistant asked, concerned. Naruto walked over to the ghost kid, who jumped into his arms and began crying as Naruto held him close, letting him cry. 45 minutes later. Wait, you can't do this to me. I'm the mayor, Montez said as he was being dragged into a police car. Not anymore, the cop said, pushing him into the police car and showed him a live stream of members of City Hall. Montez knew, you and your corrupt buddies are going to jail for a long time. You disgust me, to do that to a 10-year-old, and your own son no less. You won't be seeing the outside for a long time, buddy, he said as he slammed the door shut. With Naruto. I'm sorry, what are you asking me? Desiree said as she looked at a small boy with black hair. He needs a parent, somebody to care for him, Naruto said as Youngblood petted his skeleton parrot assistant, staying silent. Why me, why not Maddie? Desiree asked, flattered he chose her. Because Jack is himself and you, Ember, and Kitty are all half as like he is, and I feel you can all better relate to him, Naruto said to her. Okay, also bring the parrot back. I don't like the skull and bones look. And how about his father? Desiree asked him as he made the parrot a halfa. He just got sent to prison for life, Naruto said with a pleased look. You mean his father was the yeah? Desiree was saying before Naruto answered her halfway into her sentence. I hope you torture his ass, Desiree said to him. Oh, I don't need to. Criminals hate law and corrupt officials are something they look forward to him, Naruto said with a smirk, knowing prisoners in jail would treat Montez a certain way. You poor thing, Desiree said, pulling Youngblood into a hug, something he really needed right now. Few days later. You all do realize this suit can kill you, right? Dani asked her parents. We just need to stabilize a few things, Dani, Jack said to her as he was working on the pants. So how bad? Dani asked her mom. If it fully drains you, strong chance you can die, Maddie said as the suit drained a person like a battery. Sounds like you need an alternative energy source for it, Naruto said as the suit increased the user's performance through its neural interface, but said interface was also a dangerous thing as it wasn't properly calibrated or had a suitable energy source. Suddenly, the portal opened and Vlad came flying out of it, battered and bruised, and had green smoke coming off of him as parts of his suit were torn. Oh shit, everyone, not counting Jack thought. Few minutes later. Everyone looked at the knocked out Vlad, who was laying on the couch. Who besides Naruto can do that to Vlad? Dani asked curiously. No, I can do a lot, but what did this knocked him back into human form? Suddenly, an alarm went off. Oh no, the ecto-exodus alarm, Jack said in fright. Translation, Dani asked her mother. Massive amount of ghosts are heading to the portal, Maddie said to her daughter. Stall, Jack, Naruto said to Jazz. Naruto and the others headed for the portal, ready to face what's coming. Few moments pass and Box Ghost pokes his head out. Box Ghost, Dani was saying before she got blasted by a blue beam. Skulker jumped out of the portal. Skulker? Naruto said in surprise. I told you there was a way out, Skulker said before ghosts began poking their heads out. Go, 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 he said as it seemed like every ghost in the ghost zone came out of the portal. Why the F is that portal door a huge piece of shit? Naruto asked as everything was able to get through it. DANI tackled Skulker as she and the others went outside. Naruto went to punch him, but Dora stopped him with Sydney Poindexter on her back. This may come as a surprise, but Skulker isn't the bully here, Sydney said to them. Are you serious? This micro-dick bitch always attacks us, DANI said to him. What are you talking about? What are all of you running from? Naruto asked. His name is Pariah Dark, the king of all ghosts, Dora said to Naruto. King of all ghosts? Naruto asked as Ember filled him in on that, which is why he kept the ring in a safe. Yes, ghost child, he is the most powerful ghost in all of existence. None have ever managed to come close to his level of power. Skulker said as a ghost that old was truly powerful. You must run, Dora said to Naruto. Why? Naruto asked her. Because once he receives his items, he will be wanting revenge on the one who locked him away, the Shinigami, Dora said. The Shinigami and Pariah had a long history. The death god empowered a group of ancient ghosts and created the prison to hold him, the sarcophagus of forever sleep, Skulker said. Until some idiot freed him. Now he's back and destroying our homes to remake his rule, Bertrand said. And considering he can't exactly hurt your dad, guess who's the next best thing, punk, Walker said with a grin. Wait, the Fright Knight, Naruto said in realization. What about him? DANI asked curiously and slightly terrified. He called you a thief and demanded we return his master's property, the ring, Naruto said to her. We were the last people he saw had the ring, he said, making her eyes widen in realization. Meaning he'll be coming for us, DANI said, a little afraid. Come to me, Naruto heard in his head. Naruto? DANI asked as he was looking in every direction. I just heard a voice in my head, Naruto said to her. The two watched as every ghost scattered, flying away trying to find a place to hide. Things just went to shit, Naruto said as they couldn't stop all these ghosts. Later at action. I'm sorry, what? Tucker asked as Naruto filled him in. We need to prepare for war, everyone gear up, Naruto said as he and DANI were upgrading Maddie, Tucker, and Valerie's gear. Vlad's here, the Fright Knight is coming, the king of all ghosts is awake, his army's coming, and every ghost we've ever sent back to the ghost zone is here in Amity. We are royally screwed right now, Spectra said as nowhere was safe. How do we fight this? Paulina asked him. Easy, we all have powers and tech, and we have a trump card, Naruto said as he brought up the Fenton battlesuit. Last resort, DANI said firmly. We'll do some tweaking so it doesn't kill the person wearing it, Tucker said as he thinks he can add in some upgrades. Where is the ring? Desiree asked Naruto. Come to me, the voice from before said, in a safe in my room, he said, ignoring the voice in his head. Come to me now, the voice shouted, causing Naruto to hold his head. It's calling you, Desiree said in surprise. Do not answer its call, she said to him. Answer what? What is calling me? Naruto asked her. The crown of fire, Kitty said as she heard rumors that long ago that ghosts had heard whispers coming from Pariah's keep. Why is it calling me? Naruto asked her. It must see you as someone worthy of its power, or because you've been closest to the Ring of Rage, Spectra said as those two items were supposedly linked. I'll call my mom, Sam said as her mother was Naruto's maid as her grandmother disowned her father. How's Youngblood taking everything? Naruto asked Desiree. Well, he's scared, but all right, Kitty said as she called him a few minutes ago a ghost that Young just thought Pariah was a boogeyman, she said, not blaming him. Naruto's apartment. Pamela Manson was currently punching in a combination Sam got from Naruto to open a giant safe he had well hidden, and when she opened it, she saw the green ring with a skull and Freakshow's scepter, and as she reached for the ring to bring it to action, an earthquake happened, making her fall to the floor along with the scepter, and when the orb hit the ground it shattered, causing red smoke to escape from it, which then went into Pamela's body. Later at Fenton Works. Give us all a reason, Tucker said as he and the others glared at Vlad. Because you'll need all the help you can get, Vlad said simply as he could take most of them. Why did you free him? DANI asked as this was insanely stupid by Vlad's standards. The chance to have ultimate limitless power, I didn't expect him to wake up and recover so quickly. Vlad said as he honestly believed that. Of course it didn't, as your plans never go as you think, you retarded fool. Naruto said as this was insane and Vlad basically doomed the planet. If you're so scared, why don't you call dear old daddy to handle this? Oh wait, he can't. Vlad said, I hate primordials. They have all this power and yet can't do anything when you need them to. He said. Yeah, really sucks, but here's a thought. What do you call the moron that unleashes something that was sealed by people given powers by said primordial? Naruto said to him. Someone willing to take a chance at power. Besides, you're his son, you should be a match for him. You always beat everyone that comes at you. Vlad said. Slight problem concerning that, as a few months ago, he took a beating from the Fright Knight, someone who serves the thing you unleashed, Valerie said angrily. A ghost actually managed to harm you? And yes, I know of the knight, Vlad said, amazed that was possible. Yeah, and now it's time for round 2, Naruto said with a grin. Didn't he almost kill you? Star asked curiously. Wow, a ghost more powerful than you. Newsflash, the Fright Knight is Pariah's second in command, meaning he should be half of Pariah's strength, so that explains why you got your ass beat. Vlad said to him. No, Pariah is stronger than that, I can feel it, Naruto said, as even from the flip side of the 2 dimensions he could feel Pariah's power. I said the knight is half as strong as Pariah, he has to be his second in command, his top general. Vlad said, ignoring Naruto's comment as he was too frightened to believe it. Meaning Pariah himself is in a completely different league than you. Ember said to Naruto, why the fuck are you grinding? She asked as Naruto was smiling. Your blasted warrior hunger, isn't that going to get you killed? Vlad said. Warrior hunger? Jazz asked curiously. The rush and wanting to face someone another person says is stronger than you. Do you watch Dragon Ball Z? Basically what Goku and some of the others always are. Vlad said as he watched anime in his spare time as it consumed time. A little worried that you of all people watch that, Tucker said as he was a fan. Do not attempt to face Pariah. You are nothing but a gnat compared to his power. Take it from someone who had a taste of his wrath. You take him on, and he will kill you as easy as taking a breath. Vlad said. Well, you survived, DANI said, as that kinda didn't help his claim. Barely. I made a clone to take the blast, but I got caught in the explosion. I was sent from one end of the ghost zone right into that portal. He is a demon. There is a reason he is the Ghost King, as he is the most powerful ghost of all. Vlad said. A demon, please, Kurama said to him, letting out a scoff. Oh, shut it. Don't think you count as a demon anymore, Naruto said as Kurama was a regular fox with 9 tails and ghost powers. Yeah, well, thanks to your biological father, I lost half my power, and to add insult to injury, when you died I lost another half, meaning I have a quarter of chakra from my original effing body, Kurama said as he was basically on par with his 6-tailed brother. Oh boo-hoo, Naruto said to him, not really caring. Are you kidding me? I'm on par with my 6-tailed brother, for crying out loud, Kurama said. How's about you stop being selfish about what you lost and stop crying like a bitch about it? Naruto said to him. That fox is talking, Vlad said in amazement. Seriously, that surprises you? Maddie asked him. Suddenly the room began shaking. Let's go, Naruto said as they changed and went outside to see Fright Knight burying his sword into the ground. By the power vested in me by my lord and liege, I order you to return the ring, naive, Fright Knight said, looking at Naruto. Or what? Vlad said. Are you fucking serious? The universe takes every opportunity to fuck with people, Naruto said to the elder Haffa. I claim this city in the name of Lord Pariah, the king of all ghosts, Fright Knight said as the energy from his sword caused his skeleton army to freeze. The sword is sunk. Your die now cast. The sword removed shall signal fast. Make reappear the ring, thou haste, or thy next day shall be thy last, he said before turning into bats and flying away as the town got covered in a green barrier coming from the sword. Few hours later. Well, this is a fucking mess, Naruto said as he saw Pamela Mason was now a half-ghost and Freakshow's scepter was destroyed. You think, the moment we remove the sword, Pariah's going to show? Sam asked as she listened to the recording Tucker took. Not exactly what I meant, Naruto said as Pamela in her ghost form was wearing a black leather pants, a crimson t-shirt, and a blood-red jacket with a bat symbol on the back that had small swirl-like designs for eyes, black heels, and she had dark red hair. She looks goth, Sam said happily. Yes, she does. Now we have to think back to Pariah, Naruto said as that was the biggest concern. Too bad the other ghosts can't help us, Sam said as a lot of ghosts hated them for the amount of ass-kicking they unleashed. Some might, Sam, Naruto said thinking of the few ghost friends they had. Maybe if we got his crown off and onto your head, we might be able to take him down, Sam said. Yes, claim what is yours, the voice from earlier said in Naruto's mind. I swear, Naruto thought to himself, he was powerful before the items, he said as the items didn't work without the other. Naruto, if what Vlad said was true, then we are going to need a miracle, otherwise we are going to die, Sam said seriously. And what do you want me to do? Challenge Pariah? Naruto said to her as that was kinda his plan. We need to stop him before, Sam was saying till they were hit with another quake. Shit, Naruto said as they saw they were in the ghost zone. Few minutes earlier. Danielle, you fool, the sword was a signal, Vlad said in urgency, regretting pushing her buttons now. A signal? A signal for what? Danielle said as she pulled the sword at that moment, causing another quake. Now. Everyone arrived on scene, seeing the barrier crack and shatter like glass, showing the town in the ghost zone. Suddenly, the sword began to pull out of Danny's hands and into the Fright Knights who stood beside his king. Of surrender, Pariah said, grinning wickedly. Holy shit. Danny said, very intimidated by the large ghost. You said it, Vlad said. Pariah clapped his hands, sending a red ecto beam at them, all causing them to scream as the pain was so great they reverted back to their human forms. Yo asshole, Naruto said as he Valerie, Sam, and Tucker arrived and fired at him. Where are the others? He asked them. Dealing with this bastard's army, Tucker said as they could only spare him and Valerie. Naruto and them screamed as they were blasted by Pariah's red beam and reverted back to human. Where's your honor, bitch? Naruto said, smiling painfully at Fright Knight. Do you ever shut up? Fright Knight asked him. Nope, some say it's my best quality. Now come on, bitch, we have a rematch, Naruto said to him, going ghost. They are ghosts and humans. Is there no end to this day's surprises? Pariah said with a grin, and Fright Knight, fight this young lad, he reminds me of someone and I'd like a show, he said, making a throne for himself. Fright Knight charged and slammed his fist in Naruto's face, sending him crashing into the ground before stomping on his face. I see you haven't improved, he said in disappointment. That's your opinion, Naruto said as he blasted Fright Knight off him and punched him in the stomach. Fright Knight growled as he grabbed Naruto's arm and causing him to scream as he broke it and popped it out of the socket. Fuck, Naruto said as he blasted him away and grabbed his own arm and pushed it harshly back into his socket. Hearing a loud crack, he did quick swings to stretch out his muscles. Naruto was unprepared for the onslaught of punches by the knight as he smashed him with punch after punch, not giving Naruto a moment to counter. I'll admit you have gotten stronger, child, but not by much, Fright Knight said, a little impressed. Then try this, Naruto said as he encased himself in his shadow. Please, Fright Knight said as he slashed the shadow with his sword, making Naruto be seen as he grabbed him by the neck. I have faced every matter of ghost. Did you think that was the first time I've done battle with someone who could merge with their shadow? He said, not very impressed. I don't know any that can do this, Naruto said as he made tendrils stab him in his joints. Fright Knight shouted as the flames that made his cape intensified, burning the tendrils off. This is beginning to bore me, Fright Knight. Pariah said, a bit bored seeing Fright Knight winning this fight. Let's see how you like your power being used against you, and the opposite, Naruto said as one fist had ice and the other blue flames. Multiple elements impressive, Pariah said, his interest slightly piqued. Fright Knight stopped both fists easily and squeezed, causing the ice to shatter and the flames to be extinguished. My power isn't easily put out, beach, Naruto said angrily as one of the knight's hands froze while the other was burning. Naruto gagged as everyone gasped as Fright Knight used his sword and stabbed him through the chest. Face your fears, he said to him. I thought that worked only on Halloween, Sam asked him in terror. Do not believe everything you read, Fright said to her, and noticed Naruto wasn't gone. How? He said in amazement. Naruto looked at him as his eyes changed color. Because asshole, I face my fears every day and know they're not something I can always control, but do my best to fight, he said to him. Naruto thrusted his arm covered in black lightning at Fright, who turned and brought his sword down, slashing Naruto's arm off. Naruto, all his friends yelled in terror. Naruto looked at his stump and saw the green goo his arm turned into and just had the goo float up and become his arm again. Instant regeneration? Impossible. Fright said in surprise as that power allowed a person to regrow missing parts. With me anything is possible, Naruto said to him. I should have known coming from the child of the Shinigami. Fright said, taking another stance. What? Pariah said, getting off of his throne. You say this child is the son of the Shinigami? Yes, my lord, he is the adopted child of the death god. Fright said to him. Good, then perhaps you will be of some use. I want revenge on the death god for making that accursed sarcophagus and putting me into an eternal slumber, and you, child, will accomplish that. Pariah said as he blasted Naruto, turning him back into his human form. Wait, he said before sniffing the air. You have been near my ring for a long time. Its energy is coming off of you. I can smell it, he said. And yet you can't smell your own breath? Naruto asked before Pariah grabbed him and squeezed. Wait, he said in urgency. You seriously need a tic-tac, he said. Pariah began squeezing even harder, making bones crack. Make your last prayers, child, for you will soon receive the gift of death, he said with a wicked grin. I already have, Naruto said as he took out his hilt and made a warhammer that was powered by ecto-lightning. How cute! This is how you zap someone, child, Pariah said as he began electrocuting him with his own ecto-lightning. Take me now. You are so close, the voice from earlier said in Naruto's head. Will you shut up? Naruto said angrily. Ah, so you can hear it, boy. Impressive, Pariah said to him with a grin. If you want this power like so many others, you must take it, he said maniacally, basically daring him to do it. Oh yeah, let's even out the damn odds, Naruto said as he held the ring of rage. The ring, Pariah said as he dropped him. Get it, Fright ordered the skeleton army. Pariah grunted as he tried to punch Naruto, but he ran up his arm before taking the crown of fire off his head. My crown. Let's do this, Naruto said as he placed the crown on his head before both the crown and the ring began to glow brightly. Even without them, I am still more than what's this, Pariah said in surprise. Pariah and Fright looked as the skeleton army began glowing as a pillar of energy engulfed Naruto as the army began getting sucked into it. Come on, we're missing all the action, Sydney said to the other ghosts as he arrived on Dora's back. Everyone shielded themselves as the pillar of energy dissipated, and where it was a new Naruto clad in skeleton-like armor. You're in deep trouble now, Naruto said to Pariah, deadly serious. Is that so? Pariah said. Your reign is over, Pariah. I am going to kill you and become the new king, Naruto said to him as his father taught him much about fights between kinds. One of them was when you kill the current king you become the new one. My reign is eternal and will continue to be so, Pariah said. Then let's find out. Follow me, Naruto said, intending on taking this fight away from the city. We need to back him up, DANI said to the others. How my scanners say they're both evenly matched, Valerie said to her, as they were dead if they got in that with Naruto. So I finally get to have vengeance. Come boy, show me if you are as strong as your father or just as pathetic, Pariah was saying before Naruto was suddenly on him with his fist buried in his face. You talk too much, Naruto said before sending him flying as the crown and ring glowed as he aimed his hand and fired a black blast that demolished some of the floating doors. Pariah fired at Naruto, who matched it with his own before overpowering Pariah's. As the smoke was seen, Pariah charged through and tackled Naruto. You're going down, Flamehead, Naruto said, punching him in the face. The clash between the two is so great that waves of ecto-energy are being sent all over the place. Amity Park News Station. Our satellites are going haywire, Lance Thunder said as the lightning and dimensional shifts were causing a lot of equipment to go haywire. Shit, we need to keep the people calm, Harriet said as they were trying to broadcast to the people. As they were panicking in the streets, she went to the roof to try and fix the satellites, but as she worked, a lightning bolt hit a satellite dish and exploded. With Maddie. Maddie was currently fighting off some ghost skeletons with a dragon and a literal black and white nerd. What is wrong with this gun, she thought to herself, as this gun was an old reliable one she kept for years. What the hell, she thought, seeing green goo come out of it, and soon saw techno lines appear on it and then spread to her suit. Doomed. Yes, Technus shall be free, Technus said as he had his remaining goo outside infect a gun, hoping one of the half-ghosts to use it, but as he tried to free himself he hit a firewall. Curse you, wall of code, he said, unable to manipulate the firewall from level 0. Back with Maddie. They all looked up, seeing more of the ecto energy striking objects before it struck a tower. Maddie, look out, Valerie said as she pushed her out of the way, but the energy from the tower struck her before it flowed into Maddie's body and into affecting the techno lines that were on her suit, causing it to cover her body. Oh, Maddie, are you? She was saying before she saw what happened to Maddie. Back with Naruto. We see both Pariah and Naruto panting as they floated a few feet away from each other. You are a true warrior, child. No one has ever made me put in so much effort before in battle, Pariah said. Let's end this, you colossal fossil, Naruto said as they were both bloody. That battle suit would have been needed if he got these things, he thought, thinking about the ring and the crown. Pariah and Naruto charged at each other before he swung his mace at Naruto, who turned and dodged it before slicing it apart. You are never going to hurt another person ever again, Naruto said before slashing Pariah. Pariah groaned as the slash made him glow before a glowing orb where his heart was seen before it exploded. Pariah then groaned as he fell to the ground before exploding in a torrent of green flames. His face is shown one last time in the flames as he screams in agony. It's over, Naruto said as he blacked out. Few hours later. Long live the king, Shinigami said to his son with a chuckle. You look like shit, he said to him. I know, but I don't give a shit about being a king. Naruto said to him. Here, take them, he said, taking off the ring and crown, handing it to him. I can't take them, they have bonded to you, and the king was only meant to wear the crown, Shinigami said to him. Then why does it need the ring? Naruto asked him curiously. The crown and ring are linked, but not in the way you think they are bonded, but like I said, the crown belongs to the king, while the ring belongs to the queen, Shinigami said to him. Is that why DANI felt drawn to it? Naruto asked him, then chuckled. Yeah, and I can't choose between them, he said, as it was one ring. Who said there had to be one queen? Shinigami said with a chuckle. The ring isn't necessarily a ring, it is a mark or brand, if you will, he said, explaining the logic to him. But know this, all your girlfriends will get a power increase from the mark, and you'll lose the massive power you've gained, but still have a significant increase, he said to Naruto. What about the crown, I mean, Naruto said, as the flaming crown, while cool, was impractical. It was called the Crown of Fire as Pariah molded it into that. For you, it can be molded into something you'd enjoy more, Shinigami said as the crown morphed into a headband with the symbol for fire on it. It'll remain in your ghost form, he said, knowing in the public it would seem strange. Cool, Naruto said with a smirk. With the girls. Cool, DANI said as she had a tattoo that had the same skull design of the Ring of Rage above her ass. Yeah, I can dig this baby pop, Ember said as she had one on her right arm. Oh yeah, Sam said as she had one on the back of her right hand. Desiree blushed brightly as all of Naruto's lovers and women that had a strong interest in him had gotten a mark as well as her, as it was on the side of her neck. Oh, Spectra said as she saw one on her inner thigh. Never thought of getting a tattoo, Kitty said as hers was slightly above the area of her privates. Me neither, Jazz said as she looked at her left shoulder. I guess this contributes to my new look, Pamela said as she saw her tattoo on the upper part of her boob. It's a good thing my dad won't kill me for having a tattoo, Paulina said as she and Star had a mark on their opposing arms, Paulina's right and Star's left. I got used to being an assistant. I guess I can get used to this, Natalie said as her was on her side. I think it looks cool, Valerie said as she felt it appear on her ass. Great, more new changes, Maddie said as her suit was infected and bound itself to her as she could make it appear and disappear, and it allowed her to fire ecto-rays and turn invisible, but only when she wore it. Amity Park News Station Roof. I'm alive, Harriet said in surprise as she was surprised she survived after a satellite exploded. She struggled to get up as she was a little disoriented, and as she walked to the door she tripped slightly, not realizing she went through the door or that she had a tattoo on the back of her neck. With Naruto. Naruto walked into his apartment, rubbing his neck, popping the joints in it as he rolled his neck. I swear I feel like shit, he thought, as even after the fight with Pariah, he was sore as he headed up to his room, intending on getting some rest. Hello, Your Majesty, Kitty said, coming up behind him, surprising him. Hey Kitty, Naruto said, giving her a small smirk as his girls always brought him joy. We figured you'd be tired, so we thought of a way to help you relax, Kitty said, kissing his ear. We? Naruto asked her. Naruto and Kitty turned into his room, seeing Ember, Spectra, and Desiree on his bed. Well, I am pretty stressed out, Naruto thought, cracking some bones. Finally, we're getting our turn with you, baby pop, Ember said as she was wearing a leather corset, underpants, and thigh-high leather boots. You have no idea how hard it was waiting for this, Spectra said as she was wearing a red leather corset, panties, leggings, and had a black riding crop. Hello, my master, Desiree said in an orange version of her harem outfit. Yes, you give so much love to others, give us some too, Kitty said, only wearing fishnet leggings and red crotchless underpants. Naruto went intangible, making his clothes fall to the floor. I have never loved intangibility more than this very moment, all four women thought, looking at the monster Naruto had. Get at him, homegirl, Ember said to Kitty, who was blushing up a storm as she felt how hard Naruto was and how hot his member was. Why does she get to go first? Spectra asked Ember a little heatedly. Because she's the more romantic type, so she'll want this more, Ember said as she also lost a coin toss between the two of them. Because it wants this just as much as I do, Naruto said to her. Then let's get started, Kitty said as she positioned herself over his member before dropping down on it, moaning loudly. Get ready for the ride of your life, girl, Ember said as she knew taking that member Kitty would be seeing stars. Naruto rubbed Kitty's back as the two made out as Kitty rubbed his chest against hers. Look at him spread her open, Spectra said, enjoying the show as she and the other girls moistened from looking at him thrust into Kitty. He's so effing big, Kitty thought in bliss, wishing she had done this sooner. You're so beautiful, I love you, Naruto said to Kitty, causing Kitty to get tighter. That's all I want, love, Kitty thought, feeling more pleasure as Naruto treated her kindly and lovingly. Figured he'd be rougher, Spectra said. Not everyone finds getting pounded like that enjoyable. Some prefer a more romantic approach more than a rough one, Desiree said as she was curious to how he'd be with her. Yeah, for Kitty this is nirvana for her, Ember said, loving the word for multiple meanings. Can't wait for my turn, she thought in excitement. I should have given my V card to you, Kitty said, regretting Johnny even touched her and wished she had given it to Naruto. You already are in everything, Kitty said, talking about his person and the pleasure she was receiving. Naruto was giving her blows in already. You know, baby pop, she still has one cherry you can pop, Ember said, smirking wickedly as Kitty blushed and looked away nervously. If you want it, Naruto, it's yours, Kitty said to him, wanting him to have her in every way possible. I have much more respect for her, Spectra said as she thought Kitty was way too innocent. Learning that she was a little naughty made her look at her differently. I love you, Kitty said as she was getting wetter and enjoying it. And I love you, Naruto said before burying himself in her. Loving his milk, kitty cat? Ember asked her. Give me a taste, she said before pulling Kitty into a kiss. Wow, baby pop, you taste amazing, she said happily and saw Kitty panting. I think your kitty needs a little more milk, she said to Naruto. Maybe she does, Naruto said with a grin as he grabbed Kitty's face and began face riding her. I swear I think I can make out her Adam's apple, Spectra said as she saw Kitty take a lot of Naruto. Your ass is next, Kitty, I hope you're ready, I'm gonna ride you like you ride your bike, Naruto said to her. Kitty's eyes widened from that thought, imagining being his biker slot. Naruto grunted as he began flooding her mouth. The other 3 women there felt their lips dry as they licked them a little hungrily, wanting a taste, but couldn't as Kitty was gobbling it up. Kitty felt herself get lifted as Naruto placed her in his lap with her back against his chest as he held her legs, spreading them out wide, making her moan as she felt Naruto's tip press against her back door. My ass will be his, she thought, wanting Naruto to take her as she wanted that first with him. Spectra grinned sadistically hearing Kitty scream. Ember, however, looked worried for her friend as Kitty sobbed in pain. He feels even bigger inside my, Kitty thought in a combination of amazement and pain. Are you okay? Naruto asked Kitty. It hurts so much, Kitty said as she felt Naruto massage her melons and kiss her neck. We got you, girl. Just let us know when you're good, Ember said as she began doing Kitty. You're a good friend, Ember, Naruto said with a smile. The best, Kitty thought, meaning that in a whole bunch of ways. Why, you can move now, she said to Naruto before screaming a little. Desiree had a blush on her face watching Naruto pound into Kitty. I swear he's gonna destroy us and ours, Spectra said as she watched in fascination. Kitty screaming into Ember's lips as she felt Naruto. Way to go, baby pop, Ember said as she looked at her exhausted friend. You're so tight, Ember, Naruto said with a grin. Keep saying my name, baby pop, Ember said as she herself get tighter and experience more pleasure. Glad the power works despite the form, she thought to herself as people cheering her name made her stronger despite being in human form. But something about Naruto saying her name made her feel stronger for some reason. Ember, 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 Naruto said in pleasure as he grabbed her. Yes, keep saying my name, Ember thought in bliss. Ember, Naruto shouted her name one last time as he did inside of her. F baby pop, Ember said, screaming so loud one could hear the glass vibrate violently. My turn, Spectra said as Naruto pulled out of Ember. 1D handsome, I like to take my time, she asked him with a predatory grin. So what do you want to do, Spectra? Naruto asked as he could never pin down what she wanted. I want to take my body for a test drive since this is me now and forever, Spectra said, as when she became a halfa this became her permanent body and she had yet to actually use it for anything of a naughty nature. Then come on, Naruto said with a smirk. Spectra got on top of Naruto and into a squatting position as she lined up his. Man, you're tight, Naruto said to her in amazement. That's because this body of mine is new, Spectra said as she was happy to finally have her own body and not be a shadow or a withering husk needing to feed like an emotional vampire. Well, let's break it in, Naruto said as he began doing into her more vigorously. Desiree began panting hotly as she watched this, feeling like she was dying of thirst. Naruto covered Spectra all over her face and leaking juices from her mouth. Finally, it is my turn, Desiree said happily. Every wish you have, Naruto, I wish to grant it, she asked him, desperately wanting to please him. I wish to know how you would like to be doing, Desiree, Naruto asked her as she perked up and granted that wish. I want you to use my body as your own, make it your own personal property, making me belong only to you, Desiree said to him, fulfilling his wish. How does my melons make you feel, my master? Desiree asked him, wanting to know if she was pleasing him as much as she could. Amazing, Desiree, Naruto said, petting her head with affection. Naruto now started leaking all over her melons, filling her all over. Delicious, she said, letting out a pleasured sigh. Now I know what I'm going to wish for next, Naruto said with a smile. Say it, master, and I shall grant it, Desiree said, eagerly awaiting his next wish. I wish to feel and want you to ride me, Naruto said to her. Desiree slowly took off her harem dancer pants, wanting to give Naruto a show, as that was what she had been trained for when she was still alive. You are as beautiful as a goddess, Naruto said to her, amazed by her beauty and was in awe of her body. Thank you, master, Desiree said with a smile, as it made her happy that she could be pleasing to him in whatever way possible. Desiree got on his lap with his in her. My lifelong wish will finally come true, she said. And what is that wish? Naruto asked her, wanting to grant it. To finally feel the touch of a lover, Desiree said in excitement. I want to be loved and cherished. You've given me that, Naruto. You and you alone make me happy, she said with tears, as she believed Naruto to be her soul mate, her one and only. Well, I'm happy to give you the love you want, Naruto said with a smile before pulling her into a loving kiss as Desiree downed up. Yes, Desiree thought in pain-filled joy feeling Naruto enter and claim her kitty. I am his. She thought happy that she'd forever belong to Naruto. I never thought you of all people to be a virgin, especially with a body like yours, Naruto said in surprise. I am master. I have saved myself for either marriage or if I have found that perfect someone that is you, Desiree said with tears of joy coming down her face. Naruto pulled her into a makeout session as he rubbed her as lovingly. Master, you may take my other one after you finish with my kitty. You can have me however you please. I don't care about anything else, just you, so please, Desiree said beggingly as she wanted Naruto to have her fully in every way. I will, my queen, Naruto said as he kissed her tattoo. Desiree felt like she climaxed a little at being called his queen and enjoyed the attention he was giving her neck before she began bouncing on top of him. Naruto couldn't resist Desiree's impressive gravity-defying rack and began to fondle it. Master, Desiree said in bliss, loving how he played with her body. Your body is just made to please a man, to please me, Naruto said to her very badly. Yes, master, my body is only to please you, no one else, Desiree said as she only wished for Naruto to touch her now and forever. Naruto began to do inside her. Naruto pulled out of her and began rubbing himself against her. Desiree was eager to experience this, knowing it would hurt but would endure it for him. Yes, master, claim my whole body for yourself, Desiree thought as nothing would make her happier. Have you ever heard of the full Nelson position? Naruto asked her, getting a shake of the head as she was moaning in pain and pleasure and screamed as Naruto's hands went under her knees and to the back of her head. Well, you're about to experience it, he said to her, hearing her moan and pant even louder. Yes, master, wreck my body in however way you wish to, Desiree thought, screaming loudly as Naruto roughly did her. Desiree screamed louder and louder from the pleasure Naruto gave her. You've been waiting centuries for this, so I am going to take you to heaven in pleasure, Naruto said, kissing the mark on her neck. Desiree's mind started to feel like mush as she was losing herself to the pure pleasure-filled bliss she was feeling. I'm doing it in you, Desiree, Naruto said as he stuffed her. My, what a mess, I should clean that up, Desiree said as she looked at Naruto's dirty. Not this time, Desiree, get on your back, Naruto said dominantly. Yes, master, Desiree said, doing as she was told, and as soon as she did, Naruto got on top of her and stared, doing her. I love these gravity-defying melons of yours, Naruto said, loving how firm, soft, and squeezable they were. They are all yours, Desiree said, very serious despite her pleasured demeanor. They wish to be coated in your seed once more, master, Desiree said, wanting to taste more of his. Then let me grant their wish, Naruto said as he began all over her. I love how you taste, master, Desiree said as she once again began licking herself clean. And I love how beautiful you are, Naruto said to her with a smile. Desiree joined Naruto and the others on the bed as she slept on top of him, as Ember was on his right and Kitty was on his left as Spectra joined Desiree, sleeping against his chest. You know what you must do, Clockwork, a one-eyed ghost said. Yes, in order to avoid this future, DANI Phantom must be destroyed, another one-eyed ghost said. Clockwork looked into a gear that had an orb inside of it, showing an older woman that looks like Danielle's ghost form, but with some parts in reverse: black gloves, white chest, black logo, and it showed some of her stomach, black heels instead of white shoes, and white lines around where her knees were, white flames for her long hair, pale skin, a cape, red eyes and pointy ears, who began cackling as everything around her was destroyed. Do not forget that the Shinigami's son and his friends and lovers will try to stop you, the first ghost said to him. Yes, I know observance, but then again I know everything, Clockwork said with a slight smirk as they leave, letting him look into the orb, seeing Naruto and the others facing off against Technus, who finally escaped the doomed game and had a new look. I swear, who has a mullet, he thought to himself, as no matter what time it looked terrible, be prepared for the storm that is to come, my old apprentice, for it is going to be the greatest you have faced. Yet he thought as an image of Naruto appeared, with Naruto at his place. I can't believe it. The CATs? It feels too soon, DANI said, nervous as she felt like she had been training too much and math was still her weakest subject, and that was a huge part of the test. "Oh, stop worrying, you'll do fine," Naruto said, trying to calm her down. "Well, I want to be an astronaut. But what if that test says otherwise?" Danny said as Lancer gave this whole speech about how this test will determine their future. "Danny, the future is never set. You are who you choose to be," Naruto said, never believing that the future was fixed or anything was preordained. Everyone made their own destiny. "Thanks," Danny said with a smile. "Hey, I've always wondered, what do you want to be?" "I want to be an astronaut. Jazz wants to be a psychologist, but you've never told us what you wanted to be," she said. I don't know. I guess time will tell," Naruto said as the two shared a laugh. "Clockwork. You honestly expect me to kill this?" Clockwork said, freezing the frame on Danny. "To prevent her future from coming true, yes," the observant said. "O ye of little faith," Clockwork said as he looked at the freeze frame of Naruto. "And what of him? His future continues to change at rates even I can't predict. Want me to kill the Shinigami's son?" he asked them sarcastically. "You know we can't do that, Clockwork, as the child is needed," an observant said to him. Yes, to possibly one day take his father's reign as the god of death," Clockwork said, as if that'd ever happen. He mumbled under his breath as Naruto would never take the job that he was sure of. "And what of his title as Ghost King? He's stuck with that," he said to them simply. "Yes, we know, and as she has the power of a queen that makes her so much more dangerous in the future," Observant said, as even in death, until both queen and king are dead, the power they shared remained in play. "Either do the task we have given you or we shall do it ourselves, for there are others we can go to," Observant B said. Clockwork gave them a glare. "Fine, now leave me, I have work to do," he said to them. Clockwork turned to the freeze frame and lightly smirked as he saw the happiness in Naruto's face. "And so it begins," he said as he got started putting things into place. With Naruto. "I swear I'm gonna die," Paulina said in exhaustion as Naruto was helping her and a few others study. "I swear this test sucked when I was alive and still sucks now after being resurrected," Ember said, as it had been a long time since she was here. "Well, I'm done," Kitty said, as she was a Marvel student and study didn't take too long for her. "Same," Star said with a smile as the two high-fived. "Yeah, it's kinda easy when your brain works faster than normal," Tucker said as his powers gave him an edge. "Lucky bastards," Valerie said to them. "You can absorb weapons, why not just absorb something that increases intelligence, if that makes any sense?" Sam said, messing with her a little. "Shut it," Valerie said, as she wasn't one to cheat so easily. "Wasn't so hard when I took it," Jazz said as she got blank looks. "Nobody likes a bragger," Danny said to her as she gave her sister a dry look. Suddenly a boomerang flew into the room and hit Danny. "Oh, what the hell," she said as Maddie entered the room. "Sorry, it's your father's latest invention he calls the boomerang. It's used to track a ghost's unique ecto-energy signature," Maddie said as she found it actually creative and efficient. "Why's it locking on to me though?" Danny said as she threw it and it hit her head again. "Okay, that was dumb," she said, forgetting a boomerang always came back. "It must be keying on your signature specifically," Maddie said to herself, curious as to why. "Well, can you fix it so it stops hitting me in the head? I need to study," Danny said, wanting desperately to pass. "Hey, you got this, I believe in you," Naruto said, making her smile. Suddenly everything came to a halt as Clockwork appeared in the room with a young girl ghost with blue skin and freckles as he puts a medallion around her neck. "Where am I?" the little girl asked, seeing Clockwork. "Amity Park, years before you were born," Clockwork said simply. "That girl there is part ghost. My employers believe her to be a threat to the world. So could you be a dear and dance a little dance for us?" he said with a smirk. "Time in," he said as he teleported away. "What?" everyone said as they saw a ghost in the lab. How Naruto thought, as this wasn't possible, as they all could sense ghost a good few feet away. "Beware, I am Box Lunch, daughter of the Box Ghost and the Lunch Lady," Box Lunch said. "You gross," were the replies of everyone there. "Last I checked they just started dating. How's this possible?" Kitty asked, as this made no sense to her as she was on top of all the gossip in the ghost zone. "Prepare to face your doom by my box and lunch-related powers," Box Lunch said as boxes and cans of food flew into the room and went around her. I don't have time for this, DANI said as she went ghost and tackled Box Lunch out of the room. Time, Naruto thought to himself. Did a door take her here? He thought as certain doors in the ghost zone opened portals in time. Everyone else went ghost as they followed DANI. By the nasty burger. DANI shouted as Box Lunch tackled her through the burger joint. Wow, you are stronger than you look, she said as the full ghost child was pretty strong. Of course I am, as when two ghosts have a child, that child takes on both of their powers and strengths, Box Lunch said as she made canned and boxed foods fly along with cheeseburgers, French fries and sodas. Wait, how can two dead people have children? Maddie asked as her scientific mind was itching for that question to be answered. Ghosts work on different ways than what humans believe them to be, Box Lunch said. Smart for a kid, DANI said as she was impressed. I am a survivor, especially after what you did, Box Lunch said pointing at her. What I do? DANI asked, getting blasted in the face. Wait, I just realized something. How are all of you alive? Every ghost and human has seen your statues. Oh right, Box Lunch said as she forgot she was in the past. Statues? Ember said, confused, but liked the idea of having a statue of herself. Statues for what Naruto thought as statues were meant for a certain achievement or act or remembrance of something someone did. Now be watch you, Box Lunch sneezed, causing her medallion to fall off and her to freeze. What the? Valerie said before suddenly Box Lunch disappeared. Bless you and good riddance, Paulina said. But seriously, the kid of the lunch lady and box ghost, Mega U, Star said. Naruto picked up the medallion and stared at it as it had a C and a W on it. Somebody help me get whatever this is off my back, DANI said, trying to reach behind her as something was attached to her back. I'll help, Paulina said, pulling it off, then saw what it was. Holy shit, she said, showing them it was the answer key to the CAT. This'll end well, Naruto thought to himself, seeing the looks each had in their faces, some wanting to return it and others wanting to use it. Clockwork. Now let us see what choice she makes, Clockwork said as he and the observants watched. With the others. We gotta use this, DANI said as she got agreed nods from Star, Paulina, and Ember. Clockwork. The observants didn't see the small smirk Clockwork had on his face. What further proof do you need? The observants asked him. She has taken the answers and she has your time medallion, Observant A said. She has your time medallion, Observant B said to him. You said that twice, but you are right. Her future has become set, Clockwork said, looking ahead while still keeping the small smirk on his face. Clockwork then turned to a gear and a portal opened up and a ghost looked like a fusion of Skulker and Technus was shown. Back with the others. Are you sure about this? Naruto asked along with Sam, Tucker, Valerie, and Kitty. I really want to do good on this test, DANI said. But cheating? Valerie asked. I haven't opened it yet, maybe I'll change my mind, DANI said, as she didn't know whether to actually cheat or keep studying. It all comes down to your choice, babe, Naruto said, as he honestly didn't care which, as he was taught to cheat when necessary or when presented an opportunity, as that was how ninja were. Suddenly, a bright flash burst into the room as a ghost that looked like a cross between Skulker and Technus appeared. What the? Naruto said, as this was odd as another ghost slipped past their senses. I am Skulltech 99, the Ghost Zone's future greatest hunter, Skulker said before they saw Technus' face come on the stomach. With its greatest techno-villain as his operating system, Technus said enjoy. Hello, new upgrades, Valerie said in excitement as the suit looked cutting edge and she'd love to add it to herself. Skulker and Technus together? Ghosts can merge? Sam asked Naruto. In some instances like this, Naruto said, as Skulker used tech, combining it with Technus would have been easy. Is that a you or a yikes? Tucker asked. Multiple arms extended from Skulltech's back. Definitely a yikes, Star said as they moved. Ember, you're alive? Skulker asked in amazement. The F do you mean alive? You know I'm alive, ass douche, Ember said as her half a status wasn't a secret. But you're dead. She did it, Skulker said pointing at DANI. Don't forget you're in the past, Technus said to him simply. Really great, I can win you back and get my pelt, Skulker said happily. You can't, dimwit. Remember she's a ghost queen. You'd have to kill the king to earn that, but do that, and you could kill her again, Technus said to him. Right, fantasizes aside, it's time for you to die, ghost child. The world will thank us when you're gone, Skulker said, turning to Dani before backhanding her with some of his mechanical arms. The world thanking you? Naruto said, confused, as Skulker actually sounded like he believed that to be true. Of course, for destroying the greatest threat to humanity and ghosts before she turns, Skulker said. Activating Phantom Palm Pummeler, Technus said as they opened their hands and blasted them all, causing them to revert back to human. He shorted out our powers? Paulina said, shocked. Of course, the pummeler may not work on you in the future, but here it'll do quite nicely, Technus said happily until Valerie shot it off. Thanks, chumps, Valerie said as she stole it. She's absorbing our tech. I thought we fixed that, Skulker asked Technus, who whistled innocently in response. Suddenly a tune was played, making Skulltech 99 shake. Somebody's hacking into the system. I thought you fixed that, Skulker said, angrily glaring at the operating system. I did. It must have accidentally synced up with someone's AA, Technus said before they shot out of the room. The fuck is up with today? Paulina asked curiously. No clue, but I gotta follow him. That tech is awesome, Valerie said as she flew after him, wanting to tear that suit apart and add it to herself. Well, follow her, Naruto said to the others. Skulltech shouted as he spun around in circle. What are you waiting for? Activate the purple back gorilla override, Skulker said to Technus. Don't tell me how to do my job, Technus said as he engaged the software he actually forgot about. I'll be taking these, Valerie said as she took his weapons on his arms and his weapons belt before finally taking his wings. Skulltech groaned as his medallion fell off. What's happening? Sam asked as they along with Skulltech began glowing before they disappeared. Clockwork's lair. Why do I get the sudden sense of deja vu? Naruto thought as he picked himself up. Welcome, Clockwork said, or rather I should say welcome back, Naruto. Do I know you? Naruto asked him. You did, when you were very young, before me and your father sent you to the human world, Clockwork said to them as he sent the conjoined ghost away. Just who are you, and where do you take him? Them? Star asked curiously. I sent them back to their time, or should I say forward to his time. See, for me, time moves forward and backwards, and I am Clockwork, the ghost of time, Clockwork said, introducing himself. CW, you're the one who's been sending those future guys after me. Why? Dani asked curiously. Careful, Dani, this is a ghost of nature time like my dad is over death. This is someone you don't F with, Naruto said to her. The observance gave me the task of preventing this, Clockwork said as he pointing to a gear that showed 10 years in the future of seeing an older, more evil-looking Dani that had a more athletic and fit body, F-cups and bubbly ass. Oh my god, Kitty said as future Dani was destroying things around her, firing at people. That can't be Dani, it just can't, Jazz said, not believing that can be Dani, her own flesh and blood. Future you is kind of a jerk, Sam said, getting looks that made her shut up. They watched as future Dani was surrounded by military before taking a deep breath and unleashing some sort of sonic scream like whale, destroying the tanks and helicopters and sending them flying. Correction, really a jerk, Sam said. And I thought she was a screamer before, Naruto said, trying to make a joke. Damn, do I look hot, Dani said, impressed with how she looked. And what is that, some kind of ghostly whale? She asked, no one in particular thinking that was a cool power. I'd call it the Banshee's Scream, Naruto said, giving it his own opinion. And I thought my vocals had range, Ember said, as that was louder than her own sound powers. You all have seen too much. You must be eliminated before you permanently alter the time stream. Forgive me, Clockwork said as he pressed his staff, and suddenly multiple versions of him appeared, each different than the last, as one was a soldier, another a Viking, and one a gladiator. Then we have only one choice, Naruto said as he looked at the time portal before everyone jumped into it. Be careful, young ones, for this future you face is truly a dark one, Clockwork said. 10 years in the future. Jesus, I did all this, Dani asked, seeing the abandoned future Amity and no one in sight. Something must have happened to you to make you like this, Naruto said, wondering what sent her over the edge. Suddenly Dani was shot by a pink ectoblast as a older Valerie walked out of an alley with her arm raised and smoking. You, future Valerie said as Tech encased her arm. Whoa, I get a smoking bod 10 years from now, Valerie said, checking herself out, liking what she saw. What the hell, Valerie said as she looked at them. You're all alive? It can't be the nasty burger explosion killed you all, she said as she couldn't believe her eyes. Yo, look at her gear. What is that? Valerie asked excitedly. Action Nanobots Naruto is making them, Valerie said as she quickly corrected herself. Was? Naruto asked himself quietly, no one else catching on to her slip-up. Girl, you gotta give me some of this stuff to take home with. This'll make anything I want. Home? This hasn't been home for a long time. Not since Dad died and my human half, Valerie said sadly. You're a full ghost? Paulina asked as she wasn't green or glowing. Cloaking tech, Naruto made, Valerie said as she undid it, showing she was a few shades lighter. Did I? Dani said as she looked at present Valerie in fear. No, it was something else, Valerie said to them. What happened? What I do? Dani asked, desperately needing to know. Well, let's see, you tore off one box's hands and you permanently put Johnny 13 in a wheelchair. Fright Night is your servant, and that's all I've seen, but for them, they're just gone, Valerie said sadly. Okay, those last two don't sound bad, Kitty said, trying to elevate the mood, and wondered why Dani did that. Suddenly, a dark woman's chuckle filled the street. A white flame shot out of the sky, landing in the street as future Dani stood there. Hey bitch, Dani said as she went ghost, her eyes glowing very bright. Wow, it's almost nostalgic to see the old suit again, and you all. I'd almost feel glad if I were still human, but I surrendered my human half a long time ago, Dani said. Oh, and by the way, I don't go by Dani anymore. Call me Dina, she said. You surrendered your human half? I become a full ghost? Dani said in surprise. This feeling, Naruto was thinking as Dani's future self felt like two ghosts in one. Like Skulltech, but different. You merged with another ghost, didn't you? He asked in fear, wondering what happened to the human half. I did. My human half didn't, Dina said. Vladdy really had some nifty tricks up his sleeve, tricks that are mine now, she said, making them all go wide-eye. Home now, Naruto said to them in urgency. What makes you think I'll just let you leave? Dina asked with a grin as she grabbed Naruto and Dani's medallions and phased them into their chests. Now you're stuck here with me, baby, she said. Sam, Tucker, and the others already had taken their medallions off and got sent back home. Time is on my side, Dina said as she picked up one of the fallen medallions. Oh, before I go and make this future set, she said as she pulled Naruto into a kiss before doing the same to her past self. Let me give you both a history lesson on how this all came to be, she said wickedly. But first, some alone time, she said, making ecto restraints for Dani. Suddenly, a pink blast sent her into a building as Valerie was pointing a blaster at her. We got a score to settle, bitch, now go, she said, saying the final part to the people from her past. Oh honey, you and I have danced this dance one too many times. It's why I won't fully kill you. It's too amusing, Dina said as pressed Valerie into a wall, kissing her neck before biting into it with her fangs, leaving a mark. That'll put you down for a good while, she said as she saw the two from the past were gone. With Naruto. Have I ever said how glad I am that you can make your own ghost portals? Dani asked. Be glad I carry this shit with me at times cause I haven't mastered that skill, Naruto said to her as he had an instant ghost portal device. I don't know if this is a ghost zone we want to be in, Dani said as she saw many run from her and or glare at her. We need to find Vlad if he's still alive, Naruto said. He is, but too bad you won't find him, Dina said as she had a familiar weapon in her hands. My hilt, Naruto said in surprise as Dina made a whip and caught them. Yes, it was a interesting thing. After you died, Dina said neutrally. I died, Naruto said in silence. Yes, now stay still, Dina said as she trapped them and brought them back to Amity. I thought you wanted to make this future certain. How do you do that? By us staying here, Naruto said as that change caused issues, as if one didn't return everything or nothing could change. True. Oh well, maybe I'll get lucky and get to keep you with me this time, Dina said as she held him close. I still feel you, Naruto said to her. No, you don't, I'm evil now, Dina said as she looked at him. If you were, you'd have killed me already. What happened? Naruto asked her. Nothing you need to worry about, Dina said, creating 2 portals, and tossed them both through a different one before going back in time. With Naruto. Oh, why take us out of the zone just to throw us back in? Naruto asked himself as he saw he was just floating around alone. Well, isn't this a surprise? A voice said as it sounded like the person was taking in a deep breath in between his sentence. What the Vortex? Naruto said as the voice belonged to a ghost that looked like a living tornado. A fan, thank you, Vortex said, giving a bow. Aren't you supposed to be imprisoned by those one-eyed idiots? Naruto asked him. I was, until I got freed, Vortex said, as he always enjoyed his freedom. What are you doing here, as aren't you supposed to be? You know, wreaking havoc, as it's your favorite pastime. Your wife takes great pleasure in punishing any ghost that leaves the ghost zone. Poor Box Ghost was the first she tortured, Vortex said, as nobody should have to go through what he did. I just noticed, no electricity. What happened? Naruto asked him curiously. Using your hilt, Dina Phantom began stealing the powers of ghosts from the zone. Mine included, Vortex said, as the loss of his lightning was a big one to him. My hilt can do that? Naruto asked, as he didn't know it could steal the powers from other ghosts. Oh, that's right, you're dead. You must have never figured that out. It took these 10 long years to finally gain my powers back, but it's not the same. She broke me, just like she broke so many others, Vortex said as he missed that part of himself. But since you're here, we can tip those scales. You and me are the same. You have a multiple elemental core, he said in excitement. Yeah, and also weather powers, but if I could find out how this all happened, me dying and everything, then maybe I can prevent it, Naruto said. If you're looking for answers, look to the old cheesehead. But a warning, he's not the same man you know in your time, Vortex said, as ghosts couldn't do much to humans here. Vlad, Naruto thought to himself. Few hours later. Really, a giant football? Naruto asked as DANI, who he found on his way here, let out a sigh. Subtle as a flying mallet, DANI said as they moved it and went in. Seeing a decent lab, thought I would have iced him both literally and figuratively. Knowing that if your parents and everyone was gone, he'd probably be the last one you'd turn to. Naruto said as Vlad was the only other person who'd be able to feel the same pain DANI would feel if Maddie was gone. Hello children, Vlad said, walking out. Why are you still in good shape while the rest of the world is trashed? DANI asked, wondering why he of all people was okay. Because of this, Vlad said as he brought them to a table where they saw Naruto. Am I? Naruto asked, not seeing any rotten flesh after the decade. No, you did not die. Dina is keeping me alive so he doesn't die, Vlad said, looking at the body. Then why isn't he moving or anything? DANI said as this was scary to look at. Coma, you received no injuries besides massive trauma, Vlad said as he had some medical science. What happened to Kurama? Naruto asked him, wondering where his friend was. He was the first to fall, Vlad said, looking at DANI, who gained a frown. I don't understand. Her fusing with your ghost half caused all of this? Naruto asked, then looked around. What happened to her human half, Vlad? He asked seriously. Nothing but ash, Vlad said sadly. DANI felt sick to her stomach that a part of her could do that to the other half. She kept Valerie alive as she enjoyed playing with her, but everything is hers, Vlad said, letting out another sigh. How did you remove her ghost half in the first place? Isn't that impossible to do? Besides, with that dream catcher thing, Naruto said, as the two halves would have wanted to merge again. I upgraded Jack's pounders and created the ghost gauntlets. With them I separated DANI's ghost half as she wanted the pain to stop. And so I did until her ghost self immediately did the same to me. Then my evil ghost side overwhelmed her, and thus creating Dina Phantom, the most powerful ghost on Earth, Vlad said. That kinda sounds like wolf's claws, DANI said, as that's what it sounded like. Look, Dina stuck 2-time medallions in us, so if you can use the gauntlets to remove them, then we can get back to our own time, Naruto said as Vlad nodded and got them, her first, he said as he put them on. I'll warn you, this will hurt a lot, Vlad said. Do it, DANI said as he ripped it out, causing her to scream before she disappeared. I assume you have a reason for sending her first, Vlad asked him. Yeah, we're in a time loop, and if I've done this, I know what I would have done, Naruto said as he went to his body and channeled chakra and ecto energy into it, and soon a small tape recorder came out, and when he played it all it said was, "Let it happen, don't save them or yourself," which confused him greatly. "Why would you want this to happen?" Vlad asked in total shock. "I don't know, but I need to find out why," Naruto said, wondering what he meant. "Perhaps it has something to do with Clockwork," Vlad said as Dina complained about him a lot. "What was your plan?" Naruto thought, looking at his comatose future body. "Earlier with the others." "Danny, where's Naruto?" Valerie asked as Danny came back alone. "He's fine, it's Naruto, my future self, is getting her ass kicked," Dina said in a body similar to her past self. "True, Naruto's the greatest. Nothing can happen to him. He's the Ghost King for crying out loud. Come on girl, let's get something to eat. I'm starving," Valerie said as they walked to the nasty burger, forgetting it was destroyed. "Let's try somewhere else and come back here later," she said as they looked for somewhere else. "Oh, we'll be back for certain," baby Dina said as they walked away, Valerie not seeing her eyes flash red momentarily. "Don't go talking like that, or I'll go crazy," Valerie said, giving her a playful nudge. "Crazy is just another person's sanity," Dina said happily. "Okay," Valerie thought, as that sounded weird coming from her. Simple times, Dina thought happily before getting sad, knowing what would soon happen. Later. "I still say it's a bad idea," Sam said as half the girls were going to cheat. "Yeah, well, when life gives you lemons," Star said to them. "You make lemonade," Ember said. Nobody noticed the look of joy on Dina's face, looking at them all. "I almost forgot how much I enjoyed having them around," she thought, as even though she separated from her human half, the mark she still had bonded her to them, still making her feel the love and care she had for each of them. It was the reason why she couldn't kill Valerie and vice versa, because the two still deeply cared for one another. "Besides, if we look over them, then we can pass for sure," Paulina said, as they were gonna position themselves so they wouldn't get caught. "Well, good luck," Kitty said to them, as she was intending to pass on her merits. Jazz gave her sister a glance before leaving with the others. "Nice try, Jazz," Dina thought as she separated herself, making her double invisible as she did it, and overshadowed Jazz, knocking her out. Dina looked at her sleeping sister as she slightly rubbed her cheek with her hand. "Sorry, Jazz, but destiny awaits," she thought sadly as she was at constant war with herself, deciding in what she'd do next. Few hours later. Dina smirked as she was in position along with everyone else as she trapped all who she loved dearly and Lancer. "Why are you doing this?" Jack asked, stupefied that his daughter was a ghost. "Oh Dad, I honestly don't want to, but my future must happen, and without Naruto here, I'll have him when I get back," along with Valerie, Dina said. "No you won't," Naruto said. Dina turned to see Danny and Naruto walking down the street. "What do you mean I won't?" she asked. "Your Valerie never told you, did she?" Danny asked her. "Tell me what?" Dina asked curiously. "She was dying," Naruto said, making her glare. "What do you mean?" Dina asked him, deadly serious. "Whatever happened to make her full ghost was killing her, the nanites were just slowing the process," Naruto said as something caused Valerie to go sick. "What's it matter, at least she'll be a full ghost," Dina said, not really caring either way. "No she won't," Naruto said to her. "She's in such a bad state her ghost half can't save her." "But I can still kick your ass," Valerie said as she came and punched Dina in the face. "Don't make me do this, Val," Dina said, as knowing she was dying made her want to restrain herself from harming her. Valerie coughed harshly as some ectoplasm came out of her mouth. "I got nothing to lose and everything to gain," she said with a confident smile. "Please," Dina said almost pleadingly. "You won't do it, will you? I'm the last piece of the old you that you have left," Valerie said neutrally. "I don't think she ever really left," Dina said with some tears. Valerie got another coughing fit as she fell to her knees as Dina caught her. "Please don't go," Dina said beggingly. "For so long, I wanted to see this part of you again, baby. I'm glad to see it one last time," Valerie said as she melted into goo, dying at peace. "This changes nothing," Dina said angrily. "The future hasn't changed and nothing will stop me. So that's it. She's given up," Naruto thought as he finally understood why she wouldn't let her time go. She had given up on hope and everything that came with it, as she thought her future was better than putting up a fight. Your heart's not in it, Dani said as she knew her better than she did. She's right. We can tell it isn't, Naruto said. You may be right, but that still won't change how this ends, Dina said as she blasted both of them. Yeah, because we're not gonna do anything, Naruto said as he picked himself up. What? Dani and Dina said confused. If you really have no humanity left, if you're saying that the old you is really gone, then kill me, Naruto said as he went human and gave her his hilt, making it a small knife. Stab me in my heart. If I don't mean anything to you, do it, he said, very unafraid of her choice. Dina took the hilt and pressed the tip against Naruto's chest, their eyes never parting. Dani was amazed Naruto had so much faith in Dina, as it showed and reflected on the faith he had in her. Don't think I won't, Dina said as she poked his skin, a small trail of blood going down. Then go ahead, Naruto said as he grabbed it and held it over his heart. Be a killer, be who you say you are, he said to her without any sign of fear. After a tense moment, Dina began shaking as she dropped the knife and blasted him. I don't have to kill you, I just have to outrun the clock, she said with a neutral look but had shaky hands. So you can be put through this again and again and again? Naruto asked as this was an infinite loop which he was gonna break, and guess what, he said with a grin. What? Dina said as she knew what that grin meant, as it meant Naruto had a plan. You weren't the only one outrunning the clock, Naruto said as he grabbed Dani. Do you trust me? He asked her seriously. With every cell in my body, Dani said as he changed her to human. Let's go, Naruto said as he ran to the nasty burger with Dani. I won't let you stop this, Dina asked as she chased after them. I'm letting it happen, I'm not saving them, Naruto said as he surprised everyone there. What? Why? Dina asked as that was something Naruto would never do. Because, Naruto said as he saw the dial on the tank reach the skull. If we all die, the future, your future doesn't exist, he said, grabbing all his girls and friends close, pulling them into a hug as the tank of sauce went off. Clockwork. Impressive, Clockwork said to him, clapping his hands. How'd you know that would work? He said as all the girls, even Dina, were in a green stasis field. I just had a little faith, Naruto said as he knew in none of them existed that dark future wouldn't preventing all of this. That's my apprentice, Clockwork, with a proud smile. No, they are, Naruto said as he looked at Dani and Dina. Her, the very person whose origin I was trying to prevent, Clockwork asked him out of curiosity. Yeah, everyone deserves a second chance, even her, Naruto said as he took her out the field. Can you make it so she can exist here? He asked as she had a medallion inside her chest to stay here. The observants won't like that, Clockwork said simply. Oh please, if anything that's a reason to do it, Naruto said to him. True, Clockwork said as pissing them off was quality entertainment. Besides, if they have a problem with it, I'll be happy to discuss the matter with them personally, Naruto said as he wasn't one to throw his title as Ghost King around weakly. Everything is the way it's supposed to be, Clockwork said with a smile as he tapped the top of his scepter. Time in. Yesterday. I can't believe we're alive, Paulina said as she was amazed they survived. Yeah, and now you have more cram time. Go, Naruto said as he got a good look at their test before time went backwards. So what do we do with her? Valerie asked as Dina was here as well. I may have an idea, Naruto said as he was wondering if Desiree needed another assistant, as Natalie was still having some trouble and Desiree pulled in a lot of funding. I don't know what to say. I tried to kill all of you and yet you're still keeping me around? Dina asked as she couldn't believe how naive they were being. Yep, they all said to her. Why? Well, for one, you're gorgeous, Dani said to herself. And because even you deserve a second chance, Naruto said to her as everyone needed a second chance. Thank you, Dina said, a lone tear escaping her eye. Now all of you go study as I've studied plenty, Naruto said as he went home. Few hours later. Dina was alone in Action Lab's basement and stared at the Fenton Dreamcatcher, wondering if she should go through with her plan, but decided to walk away thinking if she should go through with it. Thinking of getting rid of Vlad's half, aren't you? Naruto asked her curiously. Yeah, but I have zero clue what'll happen. I've been bound to this for so long, Dina said to him calmly. Well, Vlad's evil half is what did this to you, Naruto said, wondering what the damage could be done. I miss my humanity, Dina said as Naruto already agreed to bring her back as a halfer, restoring her lost human half. Then why not get rid of Vlad's half and fully take back who and what you used to be, Naruto said to her. It might be like opening Pandora's box, Dina said, not knowing how powerful that statement was. We don't know what can happen. I have been fused to his side for years, she said to him, as that was a long time. So you really want to keep having that piece of Vlad in you? If you keep him, will you ever really move on? Naruto asked her curiously. Give me time, Dina said before they laughed as she realized the irony in her statement. I really did miss you, she said as she often slept next to his comatose body, as it was the only thing that held her together. I'm pretty sure every girl would, Naruto said, not knowing how the other girls would have fared in Danny's place. If anything goes wrong, I'm here for you. Besides, I don't really know how to feel knowing his ghost half is in one of my girls, he said, as that was a little weird. Trust me 100% woman, I checked, Dina said, as she was worried about that after a while. I just don't want you carrying that evil thing in you, as that's what corrupted you in the first place. I want you to be able to move on. And also Danny wants to see how she looks, he said as Danny was wondering what her ghost half would look like when she gets her age without the Vlad in her. Bet she does, Dina thought, knowing all the naughty thoughts running through her younger self's head. But she had even naughtier thoughts than Danny. So I'm guessing the life you had left you pretty backed up, Naruto asked her. My man was in a coma for 10 years. What do you think? Dina asked simply. Don't make me wait too long, handsome, she said as she wanted to be with him so bad, but first she wanted to be rid of Vlad and decided to wait a little longer. I'm here whenever you want some, Naruto said as he left, leaving a hot and bothered Dina. Asshole motherfucking tease, Dina thought to herself, and he was pushing her limits and restraint. Few days later. How is he? Naruto asked Desiree, who for a lack of a better word was a mess. Children are monsters, Desiree said to him simply in exhaustion. Well, he did have ADHD when he died, so... Naruto said as that could explain why Youngblood was so hyper. I love him though, but I wish he could sit still and stop driving a bit crazy, Desiree said. Pretty sure kids all drive their parents crazy, but they still love them, Naruto said, knowing from some experience with children he's interacted with. If we had children, do you think I'd be a good mother? Desiree asked, not having too much faith in her ability to be a parent as her mother died when she was young and her father sold her off. I'd think you'd be a great mother, Naruto said with a true and honest smile, and Joey adores you, he said as he saw the little boy's smile and knew it was an honest one as Desiree was filling the hole that was in the boy's heart. And I adore him, Desiree said in admittance, as even though he could be a nightmare at times, she soon came to adore the little boy, not caring that they were not of the same blood as they were family in bond. Come on, I'll treat us to some ice cream, Naruto said, as no one could resist that sweet treat. Did someone say ice cream? Joey said, running incredibly fast to Naruto. Desiree merely smiled and sighed, knowing this would be fun and enjoyable for a while, then exhausting all over again. Hey buddy, maybe dial back that energy. Your mom can't take much more, Naruto said as Desiree sent him a grateful look. Really? Joey said, feeling a little bad then. Yeah, I know you like to run around, but you're tormenting your poor mom here, and she really needs a break, buddy, Naruto said as he placed the little guy on his shoulders. Just perfect, Desiree thought as she took Naruto's arm as they walked together. My small little family, she thought as she smiled, feeling at bliss. If you're good, maybe I'll get you something, Naruto said, knowing little kids were easily bribed. Yay, Joey said happily. Unknown to all the halfas, the Shinigami watched in the distance. You'll be an excellent father-son, he thought, knowing Naruto would do well as a parent. And I swear I hope he never pulls a stunt like that again, he thought, as effing with time was one thing, altering it on the scale Naruto did was something else. 1 hour later. Hold still, dude, Naruto said as he was wiping Joey's mouth as it was covered in ice cream. My head hurts, Joey said as he clutched his head in pain. That's what you get for eating it so fast, Naruto said with a laugh. Desiree watched happily, seeing Naruto's fatherly instinct in act, as it was very nice to see. Few weeks later at the arcade. Thanks for hanging with me, man. Danny's cool and all, but it's nice when the bros get a chance to chill, Tucker said, as he liked being surrounded by girls as it improved his image with other girls, but he liked dude time with Naruto. No problem, dude, Naruto said, as guys sometimes needed guy time. You know, it's kinda weird how you're in a relationship with our school's principal and counselor. Only a matter of time till the assistants. Tucker said with a chuckle. Don't worry, dude, I'm sure there's someone out there for you. Naruto said as he knew Tucker was taking it easy on asking out every girl he saw. Kinda hard to do when all the girls want you, dude, Tucker said, as Naruto was a huge babe magnet. Well, I can give you some advice. The girl that looks the prettiest usually doesn't have the nicest personality. It's what's on the inside that counts, Naruto said. I'm not saying I'm looking for a supermodel girlfriend, but it would be nice to meet a girl who's smart so I could nerd talk with her, Tucker said. Naruto knew it was hard to help his friend get a girl, as most of the girls in his school were more concerned about looks, and as they played some games he saw a girl with red hair, glasses, and braces staring at Tucker. Tucker felt Naruto nudge his shoulder and he noticed the girl and waved. Oh, what? He said, rubbing his shoulder. Think, dude, Naruto said as he knew Tucker didn't realize it yet. Well, she's not Polina level attractive, but I give her a 8.85, Tucker said, getting another, but harder nudge. Oh, what the hell? Dude, that girl hasn't managed to take her eyes off of you since you walked in, Naruto said to him. Talk to her, he said, pushing him in her general direction. Few hours later. Can I ask why you're following me? Naruto asked as he walked down an empty alley for privacy, and soon a purple blaze presented itself. Greetings, child, Fright Knight said to him. You here for a rematch? Naruto asked, ready when he was. No, my king, Fright Knight said as he kneeled before him. Oh shit, Naruto thought as this just got more complicated. Week later at the museum. I swear reincarnation, Naruto said as his father hated it. But he was glad about him as he wasn't being reincarnated. So you're saying this is legit? Sam asked him as, considering what their lives consisted of, she had room to doubt and room to believe. Yeah, and there's ghost energy coming from that thing, so Naruto was saying as Tucker touched the mirror and a rumbling was heard. Seriously, man, he said. Tucker chuckled nervously before the sarcophagus began to open and a large mummy came out. Oh great, of course it's a mummy, Naruto said, as his father hated this kind of thing where dead souls not from the ghost zone remained here. Hold up, raw, Tucker said, looking at the mummy ghost before him. My pharaoh, is that you? Hodop asked him, then bowed, seeing the resemblance. My pharaoh Dulaman, your servant, has returned, he said to him. No, 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 Naruto said simply as he saw Tucker's ego rear its head. Tucker Lancer said this guy betrayed the former pharaoh for control. This is history repeating itself. But do take the staff, he said, as that was a ghostly relic in Tucker's hands and a paperweight in someone else's. It's called the Scarab Scepter, and it is his birthright, Hodop said, as he was then blasted by Naruto and Tucker. Weird that you have tech powers yet have a connection to something like Egypt, Naruto said, as he took out a thermos and captured Hodop. But I wonder what it does. Tucker said as he picked the scepter up, and suddenly a piece of the ground shot up. I was expecting sand, not earth, Naruto said, as he figured it'd grant him some Egyptian-related power or something. Don't test it out, he said as he saw the look of wonder and curiosity when he mentioned that to Tucker. Whoa, Tucker said as the staff glowed and faded into Tucker, becoming a tattoo of an Egyptian ankh on his right shoulder. Ladies love ink, he said, trying to sound suave. Dude, how are you going to explain that to your parents? Sam asked him. Make up, Tucker said, hoping that actually worked. It's a tattoo, they all said simply. My mom's gonna kill me, Tucker said as his dad would probably give him props. Don't worry, Naruto said as his hand glowed as he placed it on the mark. There now, it'll only appear when you have your power focused there. Cool, Tucker said, happy it wouldn't be seen. Few months later. So how's college? Naruto asked Jazz. It's fine, how's it feel to be a senior? Jazz asked as it was Naruto and the girl's final year. Could be better, Naruto said as being a senior made all the popular kids even bigger assholes. And Dani? Jazz asked him. She's fine. Why? Naruto asked curiously. Well, it's Christmas, and we haven't ever really had great Christmas as Mom and Dad would always argue about Santa being real, Jazz said. Oh yeah, Naruto said as DANI practically forced him out of her house, as from how Christmas went last year with her parents. I swear I hate this weather, Sam said as she was becoming stiff as her nature powers were not meant for this. Here, Naruto said as he handed her a plant, some plants can survive and even grow during winter, he said as he could only guess what she was going through. Thanks, Sam said as she created roots and took in the plant's properties. Anyway, enjoy all this, Naruto said as they saw everyone messing around expressing their own holiday traditions. Where are you going? Jazz asked curiously. To help someone enjoy the holidays, Naruto said as he left Desiree's apartment. The hell is Christmas? Natalie asked as she didn't get the purpose of the holiday. To celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, but it's become more of a commercial holiday with gifts, and if you don't like Christmas, try Hanukkah, Naruto said, as he was not a stickler for traditions or preferred celebrated holidays and was open to learn as he learned from Sam. I just hope we don't run into the writer again, Desiree said as she put some ornaments on the tree. The who? Naruto asked as he never heard of someone called the writer. The ghost writer. His power revolves around his stories, and once it starts it doesn't stop until his story ends. Desiree said as that ghost was very annoying. His powers don't even break Walker's rules, except for some occasions like today. I swear he's been bitching about his fright before Christmas since last year, she said in annoyance. And what's special about today? Naruto said as he only spent time with his dad during holidays. The annual Christmas truce. All ghosts don't attack one another or the humans on Christmas. We throw a party and just have fun, Desiree said as it was forbidden. Really? So no ghosts for an entire day? Naruto asked as that was nice. It's true, the ancients came up with this truce before many ghosts were ever born. And whoever breaks the truce is punished, Desiree said as before she had to be real careful with wishes on this day. Punished? How? Naruto asked curiously. By all of the ghosts, and thrown into Walker's jail, Desiree said, as it was another thing to do for ghosts to come together. So what, are you, Spectra, Ember, and the others gonna go to the party? Naruto asked her curiously. Course I'm going, I made some goose, Ember said, as they saw the golden roasted bird. She can cook? Naruto asked as he came, he only from time to time. Surprisingly yes, Kitty said getting a look from Ember. Shouldn't you be with DANI? Spectra asked changing the subject as she knew the girl hated the holidays. Yeah, I just wanted to see how you all were doing, Naruto said as he didn't need more reason than that to come over. Well, you better be careful as the ghostwriter doesn't like people who hate Christmas, so if he finds a reason to start one of his stories, he may find one by using DANI, Desiree said as a lot of ghosts weren't fond of being near the man. I'll keep that in mind, Naruto said as he went to look for DANI. Also, Natalie, see what holiday you might like, he asked the woman. Not yet, but I do have a question. What's that? Natalie asked, pointing up towards a mistletoe. Naruto pulled her into a kiss. It means that, he said, walking away. Wonder if I should attach that to a belt, Spectra said with a smile that creeped the other women out, but still the thought intrigued them. Shut it, succubus, there are children here, Desiree said as she had a bright blush. Later with Naruto in the park. How you doing? Naruto asked DANI. What is wrong with me? I look all over the place and all I see is people that have had nicer Christmas than me. And all I want to do is blow up some Santa thing or tree or something, DANI said angrily. Naruto could not blame her as he heard the story with the dog and knew that was not a pretty one. I swear I just hate this holiday, DANI said as she was then hit in the face with a snowball and swiped it off her face. That's not funny, she said to Naruto, who grinned and threw another. Oh, it's on, she said as her hand glowed blue as she made a snowball in her hand. Glad cold doesn't harm us, Naruto thought, referring to the temperature. Few hours later. DANI and Naruto pant as they are covered in snow. Thanks, DANI said as she felt a little better, and at that moment a snowball hit her in the face. Couldn't let me have the last word, huh? She said as she wiped the snow off her face. Nope, Naruto said with a grin. This was the most fun I've ever had on Christmas, DANI said with a smile. Why didn't you ever tell your parents how this Christmas feud of theirs was affecting you? Naruto asked as he knew there was an argument, just didn't know it went this far deep. I don't know, I mean nobody likes a Scrooge, Danny said. Yet but still, this all started just because your dad chooses to believe in Santa and she doesn't, Naruto said. Yeah, I know, but my mom's stubborn. I get that from her, Danny said, as she was a woman of science like her mom. Hey, you want to know something? It was supposed to be a surprise for you, but what the hell, Christmas will be here soon, Naruto said, giving her an envelope. Cash? Danny asked curiously, as it felt light, pretty stingy if you ask me, she said, opening it, and saw it was a slip of paper which she read a second time. You're opening up a space program, she said, screaming in excitement, almost using her banshee scream. Yeah, Naruto said with a smile, and when you turn 21 you get to live out your dream, he said, handing her a box which she tore open, seeing a state-of-the-art jetpack and an astronaut helmet. Danny tackled him and pulled him into a makeout session. Naruto smiled as he focused his powers and made a portal beneath them. Where are we? Danny asked as she fell onto a bed next to Naruto. The Ghost King's palace. When Clockwork returned my memories, he did a thing, and he renovated this place, Naruto said, as it no longer had any deadly traps, booby or otherwise, and he had it painted black with orange highlights. Welcome, pleasure, your queen, your majesty, Danny said, as she loved being his queen, as it felt like it was another level in their relationship. She also felt extremely happy when he recently told them after the future situation that he'd marry them all to make their relationship more official. You're one of my queens, but I'll definitely please you, Naruto said, as he gave them all the same respect, not showing favoritism to any one girl. Just get over here, stud, Danny said, pulling him into another makeout session. This is the bed, she thought, in bliss, where I'll please him for the rest of my life, she thought, in total bliss. Naruto rolls, so she is on top as they phase their clothes off. Let me do my job as your queen, Danny said, as she had a bright blush on her face, which displayed predatory hunger. And what job is that? Naruto asked coyly. Pleasing my king, Danny said as she turned around and began taking his. And as your king, it's also my job to return that pleasure, Naruto said as he licked and teased her. Stop with the king and queen shit and just keep eating me out, Danny said as she cared more for the pleasure than their titles or their back-to-back comments, which never seemed to cease as they both had lots to say. I love you, Danny, Naruto said before he went back to eating her. Naruto got his fingers and D in her and began roughly. Just imagining you all in your wedding dresses really gets me going, Naruto said, as seeing them like that made his heart beat so crazy he felt it would jump out his chest. Danny screamed against his D as she climaxed all over his face before he came down her whole face. I'm impressed you took it all, Naruto said as she smiled at him. Well, I get a lot of practice, Danny said as Naruto always satisfied them, never leaving till they were all good and satisfied, and stop with the wedding talk, or I think I'm gonna lose control, she said as she couldn't stop herself from getting more and more wild. Yeah, out of all the girls, you must be the one looking forward to it the most, Naruto said, as he knew it made her more wild. I look forward to that day too, to take all of you as my queens. Forever, Naruto said, feeling her moan loudly from hearing forever. You become my girl, then my mistress, then my queen, but the title I love to hear the most is my wife, he said. Danny said loudly as she climaxed after hearing him say wife. I love you, Naruto, she said as tears of joy came down her face. Nothing pleases me more than seeing you happy, Naruto said with a smile. You will always bring me happiness, Danny said, as that fueled her desire to go faster. And I will never let you forget that, as I'll show you and the others my love until we die, Naruto said as his love for them all was eternal. Nothing could stop or change that feeling he had for each of them. Danny screamed in bliss as she climaxed again. Either you're feeling more pleasure than usual, or I'm just that good, Naruto said teasingly. Both, Danny said, unable to deny that she was feeling more pleasure or that his skills never ceased to stop improving. I'm actually getting, tired, she said. Well, considering you came like 3 or 4 times already, it makes sense, Naruto said. But you've only came once, Danny said, feeling shame and inadequate as she wanted him to feel the same pleasure he gave her. Well, I guess you should fix that, Naruto said, as it was better to go with her than against her, as she wouldn't stop until he's came at least as many times as she has. Yeah, come on, my king, let's really make it a white Christmas, Dani said as she spread her legs. Merry Xmas Naruto, she said as this would get very wild. Merry Xmas Dani, Naruto said as he pushed her against the bed. For many hours the castle was filled with moans and screams of pleasure. I hope the girls don't mind us christening the bed, Dani said as she laid on Naruto his D in her. This has been the best Christmas ever, Dani said as she nuzzled into his chest. Only the best for my girls, Naruto said as he kissed her head, making her smile. That include another round, Dani asked, still feeling he was hard. I swear he might kill us all with this thing, she thought in bliss. Yeah, Naruto said. Yay, Dani said happily. At this rate, it's gonna be Christmas Day by the time we're done, Naruto said as he got to work. Then you better hurry and do me already, Dani said as she smiled at him. Maybe Christmas isn't so bad, she thought as this easily made her memories for Christmas. I've filled your kitty enough, Naruto said as it literally might have burst if he came again. Yeah, 5 times is too much considering you, Dani said as she could swear she could taste it. Then I guess I'll have to fill your ass just as many times, Naruto said as he pulled out, causing his juices to pour out. Sometimes I think you girls love holes more than face, Naruto said. I love everything, Dani said as she loved ride with Naruto as it never stopped being amazing. I know, Naruto said to her. Come on, go into overdrive or something if you want us to go to bed in time for Christmas, honey, Dani said as she absolutely loved to tease him in bed as that made him rougher and harder with her. Naruto growled as he reached under her, making her legs raise to the sides of her head before putting his arms behind her neck as he became pounding her in full Nelson. Oh f, he's going so deep, I think he's hitting my stomach, Dani thought as let out pleasured whines. You want overdrive, here you go, Naruto said as he pounded her. Yes, my king, make this a Christmas I really won't ever forget, Dani said as her eyes rolled up as the pleasure overtook her. Oh, I'll make sure it's buried in your memories forever, Naruto said, wanting to burn this night into her mind. Naruto filled here everywhere, and as many places possible. Dani was filled all over, but still wanting more. Naruto smiled as he held her close while still inside of her, and going to sleep along with her. Few hours later. Couldn't help but explore, Naruto asked as Dani was looking through their new castle. Still can't believe this used to be the place Pariah Dark had, Dani said as Clockwork really did good work. And now it's our place, Naruto said as he held her close. Let's go back to bed. I want to be well rested for Christmas morning, Dani said as she rested against his shoulder as he carried her in his arms back to bed. The next day, Naruto raised his foot to let the toy car Joey was controlling to pass. Did you really have to get him a remote control car? Desiree asked, knowing she'd trip and fall, or she'd hear its loud noise. Just be glad it wasn't a plane, Naruto said as he could see it getting in her hair. Missed you at the party, baby pop? Where'd you go? Ember asked. Oh, I was having a party of my own, Naruto said as Dani winked at him. Aw, why didn't you invite us? Spectra said, pressing herself into his chest. Well, it was a sort of thing Dani started as I gave her the gift of her dreams, Naruto said as a few knew about the gift he was going to give her. Oh, trying to join the Million Mile High Club? Spectra asked Dani, who then blushed and drooled from the thought. I'm making a space program, Naruto said as he informed the others who didn't know. And once I graduate I can join it, Dani said in excitement. Still gotta go through training, babe, Naruto said with a smirk, knowing she wanted the real deal. I know, just let me have this, Dani said. Space, the final frontier, Joey said as he floated around dressed up like an astronaut. Great, Desiree said, rolling her eyes as that was all she need, a child messing with zero gravity. How is he doing that? Dani asked. Well, when I adopted him, he sorta gained some of my magic, Desiree said as she granted him a wish that made any outfit he made gave him that ability. So as an astronaut he has space powers? Naruto asked, wondering if Joey now had powers relating to space like ice. 0G, Joey said before everything began floating along with him. This'll take some time to get used to, Naruto thought as a child with the power with imagination was a deadly thing as children had too much on their minds. Few days later. I swear this is not even a field trip, DANI said as Naruto offered a free tour of Action Labs to the school, but since they came here so much it lost all its pizzazz. Well, it's better than being at school, Valerie said as she smiled seeing her dad as he was leading the tour along with Kujo, who was very excited. Yeah, but after actually being here, as we kinda use this as a HQ, it kinda loses the flair, Tucker said, until he saw the new tech, but that never stops getting cool, he said as seeing new tech never lost its appeal. You think it's cool because you can use it. I think it's cool because I can add some of this stuff to my suit, Valerie said as her suit was still awesome in her opinion. Unknown to them, they were being watched. That gives me an idea, the person watching them thought as he flowed through the electrical circuits. Still can't believe you have this, man. This is too tempting for me, Tucker said as he looked at the Cybertron hub computer. If I tapped into that you'd be brain dead, he was saying till Naruto interrupted him. That much computing power even for you would fry your brain, dude, Naruto said as this thing was powerful, and despite Tucker's power, that much power and code running through him would be too much. Awa, Tucker said as he knew Naruto was right. Just imagine me with that jetpack, Valerie said as she literally drooled looking at it. You already have one, Valerie, Naruto said to her. Nothing that powerful, Valerie said as the power that thing had. Power isn't everything, Naruto said. Says the most powerful ghost ever, Valerie said to him. Would something please happen to alleviate the boredom? Polina said as she wasn't fascinated by science or technology like the others. You may just get your wish, Star said as all their ghost senses went off. I'm betting Technus any takers, Spectra asked as she was a chaperone on this trip. No one's that stupid, Naruto said, knowing when it was a sucker's bet. Nobody noticed the spark of electricity enter Valerie's cell phone and Tucker's PDA before it entered the computer. Naruto thought as he saw the hub glow. Not even he can get through the firewall, he thought to himself, as it would take the same type of computer to do so. Suddenly everything began turning green as Technus' voice cackling came through the speakers. Damn it, Naruto thought as Technus was using it to hack into the nearby devices. Now let's get this party started, Technus said through the system. That still needs work, the team thought as Technus may have upgraded himself a lot, but his manner of speech will never change. Try this on for size, Technus said as he activated the ectoskeleton, and these, and this, and that, he said cackling as he began activating more machinery in the lab. I swear if I have to fry my tech, I'm gonna lose it, Naruto thought as he planned for this in case Technus tried this. Naruto was suddenly grabbed by a robot arm that electrocuted him and slammed him against the wall. I'm connected to everything, every phone, every machine, everything in the world right now. Let's have some fun, Technus said as the ectoskeleton charged at the group. The joints, Valerie thought as she knew the weakness of the armor Naruto wouldn't let her absorb as it still had issues. Valerie fired at the arm joint, causing it to fall off, when suddenly wires and circuits began shooting out, creating a new arm. It's not gonna be that easy. Not only have I hacked into it, I've upgraded everything, Technus said as he then looked at Valerie and Tucker. Except you two, he said, shooting lightning at them. Valerie felt a burning sensation in her body as all the tech in her was being flooded with Technus code. Tucker had a small nosebleed as he felt Technus enter his mind, giving him a massive headache. Shit, the emergency shutdown, Naruto thought as he needed to stop Technus as he didn't know what cutting the beam off would do to Valerie and Tucker if he did it manually by pulling them away from it. Too late, child, meet the new and improved Huntress and Ugh Techno Tuck, Technus said as he didn't know Tucker's hero name. Hey, if you have something better than you try to make a name, jerk, Tucker said as he had to admit that wasn't bad. Why can't I move? He said as his armor was around him, Valerie having the same problem. I'm the puppet master, and the two of you are my puppets. Now let's give them a show, Technus said as he made them fly out. Next day. We need to find them, DANI said as Technus basically hightailed it with her friends. Technus has gotten smarter, smart enough to know how to hide himself, Naruto said as he hoped they were okay. Never would I have imagined Technus becoming an actual threat, Ember said to them as Technus was only one step above Box Ghost at one point. It's like he learns and adapts from our battles, actually getting better and smarter than the last round, Naruto said as his phone rang, and he declined it. We need to hurry. Valerie's dad keeps calling me. I covered for Tuck luckily, but I don't know how to handle him, he said as they all needed to get into the lab and Valerie's dad was in overdrive with worry as it was hard to sneak past him even using the secret entrance. Well, what can we do? Technus is literally connected to everything. Toasters, blenders, computers. He's everywhere, Sam said as they were outside and had their phones turned off completely. We need to focus thanks to Technus. They're half ghost now instead of their former percentage, Naruto said as inside Tucker and Valerie's suits were monitors on their vitals and ecto energy. But they're still tech and clearly he knows how to hide them, Kitty said simply. We need to think why leave the computer and take them, Ember asked. He wants something bigger. The satellite, he wants them as bodyguards, Naruto said, as he knew ghosts had trouble getting to space as even gravity affected them to some degree and air was a must-have. Wait, my mom's just like Tucker and Valerie. You think he took her too? DANI asked as they then ran to Fenton Works as it was too public to change as Technus was using cameras to record them going ghost to out them to the world. Mom, DANI said as she saw the lab was trashed. How screwed are we? Paulina asked as Maddie and Valerie were black belts and were dangerously skilled in their weapons along with Tucker due to him playing too many games. Very. To get to Technus we'll have to fight them, which he knows we won't do, Naruto said as harming them was out of the question. And with Valerie's dad basically, but unknowingly helping him we're still screwed, Sam said as Valerie's dad was unknowingly protecting Technus himself. How the hell are we supposed to get into space anyways? Star asked. DANI's frown soon turned into a smile that may as well been as bright as the sun. Later outside action. Last resort, you hear me, Naruto said as he was glad he had a spare jetpack in his house. Fine, how are you gonna deal with Valerie's dad? DANI asked. Knock him out? Ember said, giving a suggestion. Valerie would kill us, Paulina said as she did not like that thought whatsoever. Can we talk him down? Star asked. That involves spilling what we are, Kitty said, as that was that choice's outcome. Well, we can't exactly possess him. What suggestion do you have? Sam asked as Action had ghost protection on it. Even if they were inside, they'd have been caught. I mean, can we ignore him? DANI asked curiously as he was an outside factor. One way in, Naruto said as Technus was manipulating the locks to the basement entrance. There's only one thing we can do, and you all know it. It's the only way, he said. If she gets grounded, she's gonna be pissed at you, DANI said to him. I'm about to have the most awkward conversation ever, Naruto said as he needed to distract Valerie's dad. Let's just get this shitstorm over with, Ember said as she wanted to get all of this over already. Few minutes later. Hey, Mr. Gray, Naruto said nervously as he pulled the man's attention away from the front door. There you are. Now where in God's name is my daughter? And I want the truth right now, damn it. Damon said firmly, not caring that the teen was his boss. She's fine, Naruto said as he saw DANI and Sam pass them. I've tried her phone a dozen times and nothing. And don't lie to me because I'm good at reading people, Damon said. Apparently not your daughter, Naruto thought as Valerie pulled a lot under his nose. Now where did that freak take my daughter? Damon said, shocking him. You knew? Naruto asked in surprise. Oh please, she disappears. The huntress shows up. The huntress disappears. She shows up. I'm not an idiot, I knew from the beginning. Oh, and you're not the only one who knows how to use cameras. Might want to fix that, Damon said as he saw footage of them changing. Well, this conversation just got a whole lot less awkward. Naruto said as he was going to BS his way through it and ask him for permission to give Valerie a promise ring. He shut off the tracker her suit has to the facility and I can't track her. What happened? Damon asked as he chipped one of her guns. He's controlling her via her suit, as well as Tucker and Maddie. He's in space in the satellite using it to cause all of this as well as control them to protect himself, Naruto said to him. I'm assuming the basement is your HQ, Damon asked as children getting master access was too odd even for him in this crazy town. Yes, the others are trying to destroy the satellite as without it the computer can't work, Naruto said as DANI just shot up into space midway through his sentence. She won't be able to destroy it. We made it ghost-proof from the outside. She'd have to use the jetpack, on overload, to destroy it. Damon said as the thing was made by him and Maddie before it was launched. and the only way to blow it up is for it to blow up from inside out. Millions of dollars, destroyed because of some psycho, Naruto said, as he was glad he made so much money. Some of those parts may be salvageable, and who knows, a lot of stuff flies in orbit, Damon said as he hooked up to a live feed with the space helmet. Yet, but I wanted this to be the next step in technological evolution, not global destruction, Naruto said. Technology can be replaced. Human lives can't, Damon said as he smiled when Naruto agreed instantly, as he could respect Naruto for a magnitude of reasons, but the most was he made Valerie happy. The labs began to stop glowing green as Technus was shot out of the computer and into a wall, knocked out. That was quick, Naruto said as he was happy everyone was okay as they flew down. Valerie, Damon said, running to her and embracing her, "Don't ever scare me like that again." "Oh, I'm glad you're okay," he said. "Whoa, what happened to you guys? You look like you got upgrades," Naruto asked as Valerie was in a black suit with red circuit-like designs. Tucker looked like he had on a military battle suit like in video games, but his red visor-like helmet was designed like his hat, but covered his eyes, leaving just his mouth revealing. And finally Maddie's jumpsuit switched colors as she was wearing a black suit with blue belt, gloves, and boots. "Yeah, check me out. I look badass," Tucker said as he was packing serious heat. "I kinda look like future me," Valerie said sadly, remembering how that turned out, but she felt this was better as she luckily still had the tech from that future she got. "Yuwa," Paulina said as Technus looked like half himself and half goop. "Fu Latino, you try becoming Data and going back to normal and see how you look," Technus said just as Damon used a thermos. "Do you people ever realize how effing cramped this shit is?" he shouted from inside it. 1 hour later. "Dude, your ghost half is made of code," Naruto said as he was examining Valerie, Maddie, and Tucker's DNA, and Tucker's was the most unreal, as in his ghost DNA, it was comprised of literal ones and zeros. "Seriously, do you people ever know what it's like in this thing?" Technus shouted from inside the thermos. "He got a point, that thing cramped as shit," Dani said as Jazz sucked using the thermos or any ghost technology as she shot her by mistake. "Why does this thing smell like cheese?" Technus asked as it smelled funky in there. "How can we even hear him inside that thing?" Valerie asked curiously. "Some ghost powerful enough can bitch louder than others," Naruto said to them simply. "Fu, King Douche," Technus said, "there's a toy in here," he said, finding a torn-up ball. "I've been looking for that," Kurama said as he reared his head. "Where the hell have you been?" Naruto asked the fox. "Sleeping," Kurama said, as that was what he did sometimes for years at a time. "Ugh, all you do is sleep. No wonder you're looking chunky," Naruto said teasingly as he hadn't seen Kurama in weeks. "I am not fat," Kurama said as he sucked in his gut before coughing. "You're a chunky fox," Naruto said as the others chuckled. "I am not," Kurama yelled in denial. "All you do is eat and sleep, nothing else," Naruto said teasingly. I'm just big-boned," Kurama said, trying to make an excuse. "That gut says otherwise," Naruto said. "Shut up," Kurama yelled before watching as his stomach flabbed a little. "Okay, who let a fat guy in the room?" because I heard that, Technus asked, making everyone laugh. "Wow, he said something funny," Tucker said, wiping away a tear. "Want some cheesy poofs?" he said teasingly. "Me or the fat guy?" Technus asked as he had cheese in here. "You want to go?" Kurama said to Technus. "Go home, yes, and God, what have you been eating? Your breath smells like Cheetos, Doritos, and mozzarella sticks," Technus said as he could smell it from inside the thermos. "You've been eating my stuff while I've been at school, haven't you?" "No wonder I'm always low on mozzarella sticks," Naruto said as he always wanted some when he got home, but they were always gone. "Wow, do you not exercise? Because from the flapping I just heard suggests you really need some fitness in your life," Technus said, making everyone laugh again. "F all of you," Kurama said as he left. "Try not to bust a lung getting home," Naruto said to him. "I hear bouncing," Technus said, making them laugh again as Kurama quietly left. Few days later. "Care to explain why you are here?" Pamela said as she startled Skulker, who was in Naruto's house. "Looking for something, house wench," Skulker said as he was using his scanners, and before he knew it, he was blindsided by said house wench. "How many Halfas are in this town?" he asked as he was slowly losing interest, as they weren't that rare with how many there were. A lot. Now get out, Pam said. Bah, fine. Not like I was going to find it and actually leave with it, Skulker said as he left. I should tell Naruto, Pamela thought as she cleaned the mess. What was he after, she thought, as there was no ghost tech here or any ghost items. Wait, she thought in realization as she went to Naruto's safe and saw Freakshow's staff. This turned me into a halfa when the crystal broke. Does it still have power, she thought curiously. Few hours later. I kinda feel sorry for the ghosts as we haven't had a ghost attack in days. Doesn't seem like them to just give up and stay in the ghost zone, Naruto said as they still saved people, but it didn't really give them any thrill. No, you don't. If you had your way, you'd find a way to make sure the ghosts stayed in the zone permanently, Sam said as she knew it was impossible as both were mirrored and linked in a magnitude of ways. True, but I kinda wish they'd get upgraded or something. We haven't actually had a challenge in a long time, Naruto said as getting so strong that there was barely any challenge sucked. Since when have you ever been challenged? Besides Pariah, there's literally no ghost whatsoever that can make you actually put in the effort. You just point and bam, they're down, Ember said, as that's how it was nowadays. Yeah, which kinda sucks. What's the point of having all this power if there's nobody out there that can make me work for my victory? Naruto said as he then got an alert someone broke in action. Well, at least there are still idiots like these, he said as he took off. Yeah, idiots that we can take down with our eyes closed. We're unbeatable, Danny said, as that was how it was. Few minutes later. Well, the suit's gone. Oh well, Danny said as the ectoskeleton scrapped parts were gone. Could be Skulker. Technus, who knows, Tucker said as whoever did this used a small EMP to disable the security. And who cares, we beat them all the time. This time won't be any different, Valerie said as she had zero worries. They may be getting too confident. The ectoskeleton is a dangerous weapon, after all, Naruto thought to himself. Besides, we're ghost queens with a ghost king. Who's the most power ghost ever? Nobody can match us anymore, Star said as all ghosts seemed as easy as the box ghost. And besides, who can even use that thing without killing themselves, and even if they do, we'll still win as Team Heffa is unbeatable, Paulina said, as she thought that all of them could easily take down the Sui. Let me go see if I can see if there were any recent break-ins, Naruto thought as he was on his way to see Harriet. Besides, it's obviously Skulker as Technus would have already shown up with his stuff and blurred out his plan, Danny said. Not unless he got some new upgrade, Tucker said as Technus seemed to be advancing a lot with each new encounter with state-of-the-art equipment. Like there's any upgrade that can fix that big mouth of his, Ember said, getting the others to laugh. Naruto looked back at them. They're getting too overconfident with their abilities. Sure, we're stronger, but that doesn't mean we should let our guard down, he thought to himself as something always came when we least expected it. Later at the news station. Harriet Shin was alone in her office, staring dreamingly at Naruto. Shinigami can't believe I have powers, she thought to herself as she hadn't said anything as she was afraid the guys in white would pull some illegal abuse of government power to dissect her. As she stared at the picture, she didn't realize the mark on her neck glowed. What is that, Harriet thought as she always had these moments where she felt a strong pull to something at random times. Still cool, I can do this, she said as she was generating electromagnetic waves as she could use it to melt things, shatter them, or use them to lift herself off the ground. Cool, you can do what? Naruto asked as he entered her office. Oh shit, Harriet said as she fell off her chair, making Naruto laugh. How much did you see? She asked in worry. I watched you fall on your ass, Naruto said as he tried to reel in his laughter. Not funny, Harriet said as she was worried he would out her if he realized she had ghost powers. It is to me, Naruto said as she blasted the nearby wall. Not bad, he said, surprised she had hidden from his senses so well as a Haffa couldn't sense another Haffa without them being in their ghost form. Well, that's out now, Harriet said, letting out a sigh. And what the hell do you mean not bad? You can do better, she said, sarcastically challenging him. Probably as I can do anything, Naruto said simply as he sent a wave at her coffee mug, shattering it quickly. I loved that mug, Harriet said whiningly, and then saw it somehow unbreak and was whole. Whoa, what was that? She asked as it looked brand new. Gift from a certain person I know, Naruto said as Clockwork taught him how to rewind time for small items. You really can do anything, Harriet said in surprise, then realized something. How are you able to do this? She asked, and when she did she saw him transform into Naruto Shinigami. Oh my god. His fucking name was a tip-off, she thought, a little ashamed as a reporter at that moment. Naruto just said as he just noticed his pictures and one had lipstick on it. Harriet blushed, feeling embarrassed. Don't judge me, she said to her crush. Anyway, Naruto said, trying to rid the room of awkwardness. Have you heard of any break-ins lately? He asked, as with Pamela telling him earlier Skulker was at his house, and the only thing he had there that might have been worth something left his options low on what he could be searing for. Military got robbed of some parts, Harriet said, as she sometimes monitored channels as her new powers allowed her to hear them. Just what is going on, Naruto thought to himself, as ghost items were one thing, but military tech, this isn't adding up. The tech I get, but why the staff? He thought, as Skulker upgrading himself he could get, but magical items made less sense. Few hours later. And now Freakshow's stick is gone, Naruto said as Pamela went out for a moment, and when she returned his safe was blown open. Why are you so worried? You can take anything anybody throws at you, DANI asked him. Because those things coming together doesn't sound so good, Naruto said, as there were rules for ecto energy, but those rules could be bent. So something gets oomped a bit. So what? Ember said, as she didn't care. It scares me how they don't realize whatever gets oomph may kill us, Naruto thought, as the ectoskeleton alone causes problems. Yeah, you are the Ghost King, for crying out loud. What do you have to actually worry about? Star said. Yeah, you can just destroy whatever it is with a flick of your hand, Paulina said calmly. Can you not hear yourselves? Naruto asked them, curious if they knew how confident they sounded in the very serious situation. Sorry, it's just that. They get some new toys. We fight it, take some hits, and then boom, we win. Besides, with you, we always win no matter what, Sam said simply. They need to seriously get a reality check, Naruto thought, as this was ridiculous. I mean, we are taking this seriously, it's that we don't really think of it as that much of a threat, DANI said. Yeah, we really don't lose, dude, Tucker said to him as he felt unstoppable. And why are you so mad? I mean, with all we've been through, don't we deserve to feel like this? Valerie asked him. Yes, but not constantly. Always remember, there is always someone better than you at something, Naruto said, as that was how it was. Says the ultimate ghost. You can adapt to anyone else's powers and are unbeatable. You beat Pariah Dark, the most powerful ghost ever. What do you have to worry about? Besides your dad and Clockwork, nobody's more powerful than you. Not even Vlad, Kitty said. Vlad, Naruto thought, as the eldest Haffa was unusually quiet, especially after what happened in recent events. I bet it's Vlad trying to make something, so let's go find him, break it, and we'll be back in time for lunch, DANI said, as everyone but Naruto nodded at that plan. Why all the equipment though, and items though, Naruto thought to himself. Well, are you coming or not? Tucker asked. Later in Wisconsin. What the hell, Naruto thought, as he saw ecto signatures in Vlad's computer, each belonging to the team, all of them old and recent. He has high-grade tech, a ectoskeleton, an old broken staff, and our DNA. This is not a good mix, he thought to himself. Can I help you? Vlad asked as he walked in. Whatever you're planning, it's gonna fail as always, DANI said to him. And what am I planning? Vlad asked coyly. Something bad, Naruto thought as he guessed what the suit and items were for, but the military tech and their DNA eluded him. Something stupid, so just tell us what it is, so we can break it, Ember said as she summoned her guitar. Naruto would have said more until he got another alert, this time from Fenton Works. Okay, Maddie and Jack's new ecto converter was stolen, he said to Vlad, who just smiled. Oh, come on, it's so obvious. He's trying to make a way for the skeleton to be used without killing the person inside, DANI said, as that was her thought. Yeah, but what does he need all the other stuff for? Naruto thought to himself, as he wondered how that fit into Vlad's plan. And the staff, as he wants to try and see if he can still mind control people, Sam said. And all the tech and weapons to make himself one super powerful super suit, Valerie said. Yes, but the staff doesn't mind control, sadly, Vlad said as he tried. Nothing more than a paperweight, he said to them, and the tech is more for business. Why don't I believe that? Naruto thought. Oh, let's just fucking blow it all up and just go home, Kitty said as she filed her nails. And our way back home? Naruto asked her, as blowing this place up would take out the portal. You can teleport us back home, right? Tucker said as Naruto's eyes widened. Forgot you could do that, he asked him. You're trying to make an army with our DNA and make them stronger and unstoppable by replicating the suit without it killing them and boosting its arsenal with the weapons, aren't you? Naruto asked Vlad. Oh, please, can't make an army with the DNA I have, Vlad said, as that was a bit of a white lie, as he wasn't making an army. No, not an army. You're gonna make yourself stronger with our DNA, Naruto said, as that was his best guess. My clever boy, but who's to say that I haven't already, or that I'm already not here, Vlad said to him. Because if you did, you'd be bragging and showing off your new powers, Naruto said, as he was then blasted from behind. All true points, my boy, but I also like to win, Vlad said, as he had a rainbow-like glowing aura. Since when have you ever won? DANI asked as she and the others were then blasted. I've always won, little badger, you just never realized it till now, goodbye, Vlad said as he built up energy and fired them into the ghost zone, closing his doors. And the reason we never killed this jackass is? Ember asked, looking at Naruto. Too much attention, and I'm sure the bastard has some contingency if that were to happen, Naruto said, as he was sure Vlad had some footage somewhere where it was about outing them all. Who fucking cares? Let's just go in and cut his head off. I'm tired of dealing with this guy, DANI said. Okay, you all need to stop. When did the rules stop applying to us? Naruto asked them as this was a growing concern. If the game is already rigged, then why can't we play the same? Valerie asked him as she hated playing on other people's terms when the terms were unfair. Because we're better, Naruto said as they needed to set an example. Clearly not Mr. Ultimate Ghost that ghost his ass ultimately beat, Tucker said. You did to so unless you're still trying to process this, that was insane, Naruto said as Vlad was clearly unstable power-wise. With Vlad. I was always a fan of bats, Vlad said, as he fused the remaining part of the staff to him, getting an increase in power, but not any additional powers. Must give them credit for their genius, he said as the kids were more than right on the money, except the clone army part. Don't get cocky, Vlad. They'll still win as they always do, Skulker said as he flew in as he had a remote to the ghost zone door. Here is Technus staff and the bloodstream nanobots, he said to him, handing over the materials. Good, and don't worry, this time things will be different, Vlad said, as he needed time to stabilize as his power needed to settle. Oh yeah, why? Every ghost has tried and every ghost has failed. Besides, one of them is the son of the Shinigami. What makes you think you can beat him? Skulker said. Because of my genius and all their powers, I'll be what I've always dreamed of being. A god, Vlad said. PFFT, what genius, and from what I've read about that hilt, that boy can easily take away your powers, Skulker said, as there were rumors surrounding Naruto's hilt. What do you mean? Vlad asked him. I read in a book about that hilt, and it said that it will take away another ghost's powers when they get stabbed by it, Skulker said, as it was merely a rumor, as it was older than the Fright Night and Pariah Dark. Guess I'll have to find a way to take that off the board, Vlad thought, as Naruto always had it on his person, and even when he didn't, it magically appeared. Not only that, but it will add the powers it takes to its user, and it can only be taken if its current user is no longer alive. Skulker said as he was truly hoping it was a myth. Then I have nothing to worry about, Vlad said. How so? Skulker asked him. The boy is too noble and good, Vlad said with a chuckle. He'll never stoop to my level and steal power. He believes in honor, he said with a grin. I don't believe that. Hurt his loved ones, and you will not like what happens when you push that boy too far, Skulker said, as when you push anyone to their breaking point, you won't like what happens next. With Naruto. I can't believe we lost to that cheese-headed jackass, DANI said furiously. Then learn from it and be better, Naruto said, walking away as he had a scan Tucker took of Vlad and saw the readings were very below his but very explosive. Why can't he ever just be normal like us? Like seriously, he never gets pissed, mad or anything, Tucker asked, as it was a little irritating at times how calm he was. That's my fault, I'm afraid, teaching him how to act and react, Shinigami said, revealing himself after Naruto left. Vlad is mega evil and all-powerful with our powers, and yet he still won't kill him? What's the difference between Vlad and Pariah? Valerie asked. Naruto is too honorable to do what you all would do, and Pariah was a fight to the death, It was him or Naruto, and Naruto wouldn't die to someone so vile, Shinigami said as he was proud for what Naruto did. Well, Vlad now has enough power to beat all of us with his finger. I hate all this honor bullshit, Ember said. He just seems that way. You have all gotten lazy and too reliant on my son. You don't want to use the lessons he's taught you and improve, Shinigami said as he left. Is this really the time for some damn Swami talk? Kitty asked. He's right, DANI said in admittance. I mean, when was the last time we all did something on our own or taken down someone big? Well, it's not our fault he goes with us all the time, as we always have done everything as a team, Tucker said. It's 'cause we let him, Valerie said, letting out a sigh. We always assume he's gonna save us, but when have we ever taken charge? It's not on him, but on us, she said to them. Alright, fine, let's just train and hope we can handle Vlad when he shows his almighty ass, Tucker said as he hated to admit when he was wrong. Few days later with Naruto. So I can have an interview, but only use it if you go public, Harriet asked as Naruto was giving her conditions to the interview. Yep, Naruto said to her. Better than nothing, Harriet thought to herself, as this would basically be news and rating gold if he ever went public. So just ask away, Naruto said to her, as he had no problems doing this after all the help she's given him in the past. Okay, where to start though, Harriet thought to herself as she was with one of the many heroes of Amity Park. 2 hours later. Well, that is literally all the questions I have, Harriet said as she shot question after question at him. You're welcome, Naruto said to her. Oh, I do have one more question, Harriet said, putting her notepad down. Shoot, Naruto said to her. Can I stick my tongue down your throat? Harriet asked. Sure, Naruto said, pulling her into a deep hot kiss. Still the same slot you were in college, Maddie said, making her presence known. Maddie, Harriet said in surprise as she got wet thinking back to those times. Forgot about me as well, Harriet? Pamela said as she revealed herself as well. Let's just skip all this crap and just ride, Naruto said as he was very horny to bang all three of them. Naruto made sure all three had best climaxes ever. You Dora of my kingdom are accused of treason and treachery to usurp the crown. You are sentenced to death. But before your sentence I want the name of who gave you these ideas of treachery, Aragon said evilly. Naruto, the son of the Shinigami and the new Ghost King, Dora said as she was beaten and cut up and knew her brother would do something stupid. Not my king. I've changed my mind. I shall let you live so you can watch as I kill him, Aragon said arrogantly. Then I hope you're ready to lose, Dora said as Aragon was too proud and too dumb to admit or realize when someone was stronger than him. Please, sister, as you should already know, the Black Dragon has no equal, Aragon said as his eyes glowed red for a moment. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for such adaptations and crossovers. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and authors pyrohelixdrago, KFB, Anime 87 and Spike Tanked Master 300 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.